Okie dokie, guys. Hopefully my voice is soft enough, but not too soft, to the point where the music is louder than my voice itself. You know what, let me adjust the audio a little bit, and that's done. So, what's up? Happy Sunday, happy... Actually, there's no holiday today, I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what, it's Sunday. It's usually the day most people aren't working, and, well, y'all know how it goes. What's up, guys? It has been, what, 20 hours since I last streamed? Since I last ended stream? Like, I don't know, what time did I wrap things up yesterday? Was it about 7:30? Yeah, it was around 7:30, so... It's been an interesting day. Like, I pretty much passed out at around 10 p.m., and then... For some stupid reason at around 6 p.m., my neighbor, presumably drunk, was parking in his garage with a bunch of stereotypical slop Mexican music, for lack of a better term, at full volume. Woke me up at 6 a.m. and you know what? I called the cops, I reported him, but other than that, I think I slept enough anyways, but I still don't appreciate the fact that I was woken up so sporadically. But, that's enough about my grievances. Today, we're here to lighten up a little, read some wholesome fanfiction, and I don't know what we're gonna do after this in the tier list, to be honest. That might just be it for as far as Loud House content is concerned, but only time will tell. We gotta give it a few more days, guys. We'll have to wait and see. I am just working on a presentation for a panel I'm hosting at my college's anime convention at a college campus boot? Huh. I don't see that every day. But then again, I went to a private university, so what do I know? I see Stella neuron activation. Is that how it goes, Erica? I mean, you know what? Who am I to talk? Y'all already know I have a soft spot for Stella, and I've discussed time and again how much the narrative just does her dirty. Time and again and again and again. Like I said, definitive love interest for Lincoln, or at the very least she should have been, but I don't know what these writers are smoking most of the time, so... But anyways. Okay, is it just me or is the music a little too loud? You know what? Let me lower the volume a little more. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. Yep. Noisy neighbors, obnoxious landlord, neighbor with a pet that you can't keep in check. Oh my goodness, it's a mess, man, but you know what? I'm gonna speak softly because I don't want anyone outside to overhear it, but if things go to plan, I should be moved out within the next 2 weeks. It's equidistant from my job and whatnot, but at the same time, it's better than this. I don't know, I still have to look into it. Like, more or less, the place is already set. I just need to make sure I can actually establish an Ethernet connection there so I can keep streaming, I can keep doing what I do, and hopefully nothing will change. And luckily, where I'm going, my landlord is going to be absent around half the time, so... because of work and whatnot, so... It seems promising. It's a lot... like... In terms of distance and convenience, it's a little impractical, but at the same time, it can't be any worse than this. I'll say that much. So hopefully within the next 2 weeks, I'll hopefully be at a different place. But you know what? Does this really concern you guys? It's not like I have a face cam on all the time, and y'all can see where I'm at and whatnot. And I'm not about to dox myself, more or less. But yeah, my neighbors, they love throwing parties. Time and again, they've thrown parties or loud music in the middle of the night. Time and again, I call the cops and report them. Time and again, they do nothing, or it seems like they do something. It seems like the neighbors are getting a clue, but I don't know. Given Disney's recent track record, how badly do you think they would fumble the ball on a Kingdom Hearts movie? Wasn't there like a series already in development? Or did it get like canceled altogether? I don't know what they're doing, but I don't know. For a narrative in a video game, like it has a lot of branching options, but in terms of the plotline for like a TV series or a full-blown movie, I don't think I can fit the whole storyline into a movie, but into a TV series, I don't think they can pull it off. Like, I don't know. Like, the story is already convoluted as is. Some of the stuff hinges on the player's decisions and whatnot, like which world to go to first rather than another, because you get alternatives, you get branching paths more or less, and that does kind of mess with the narrative a little bit. But for the most part, I don't trust Disney with a Kingdom. It's fine as is as a game. I'll say that much. I don't think they need to make a TV series. But we know Disney. They're just in it for the money in the grand scheme of things. It's better to think you're just a mudkip, IRL. That's overly passionate about the Loud House. I wouldn't say overly. I mean, I talk about it a lot. I do get emotional when things go wrong or when things go right, but can I really describe that as passionate? I don't know. What do you guys think? It's the 4th year this year? Really? Not a practice I would expect in your typical college campus, to be honest. The Mario and Sonic ones? I mean, Mario only has one, and it was... To be fair, the Mario movie... Like, say it's not based on, like, a video game property or anything. Say it's just a standalone movie. Like, Mario was not an iconic video game character or anything. It's just a movie for the sake of being a movie. It'd be kind of mediocre, if you think about it. But for what it is, I can appreciate it. I like it, even though most of Illumination's repertoire is pretty underwhelming to me, or just flat out so mediocre to the point where it's actually bad, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't know, the first Despicable Me was fine. Everything after that, it was kind of eh. Sing, I thought, was really uninspired, more or less, and Secret Life of Pets was really mid, and apparently it got a sequel that I know absolutely nothing about. Like, I don't know, Illumination's track record is not the best, but the Mario movie's good for what it is. And I really do want to watch the Galaxy movie when it drops. Probably on premiere day, but I probably gotta find... I'd rather not go to a movie theater alone, guys. I don't know. I pulled people a while back in my community post, and by a while back, I mean a while back, like 3 years ago. Like, I made the question, would you go to a movie theater alone? And most of them surprisingly said yes, but it's just really not my thing. Going to a movie theater alone, it just makes me feel like such a freaking loser. Know what I mean? Just sitting in the stalls alone while everyone else is either with their friends, with their kids, with their whatever. Especially when it's like a Disney film or whatever. Like, I went to watch Inside Out 2 by myself, and like I said, I felt like such a loser. I mean, I enjoyed the film for what it was, but still though, I just could not shake off the awkwardness, more or less. And also, the Sonic movies, I mean, they're fine, they're passable, but the one thing that bothers me is just the thing that bothers me. I don't know a lot about Tails and Knuckles, but the Shadow the Hedgehog movie, it feels like it detracted a little too much from the source material. Just Shadow's backstory and all. Like, yeah, they got the basics down. He gets close with a girl named Maria, but the fact of the matter is, they just made it so that, oh, Shadow, he was just born from a meteorite that happened to crash on Earth, instead of, oh, he was created by Gerald Robotnik after making a deal with these intergalactic terrorists and whatnot, and he was using it to cure Maria. Like, in the movie, that's completely scrapped. Maria, she's just there. She's just there because Gerald invited her to the facility. There's no implication that Shadow's DNA, all the research involving him, is in the pursuit of a cure for her illness, for her neurodeficiency and whatnot. Like, I don't know, it definitely falters with a lot of the emotions from the original material. Not that I'm really an expert on it. I'd never really played Sonic Adventure 2 or Shadow the Hedgehog, but the movie definitely did its own thing, and it's a little uncomfortable here and there. Oh god, don't even get me started on the Minecraft movie, APD. I always thought the Mario movie was too fast-paced when I first watched it. Tiny bit. Like, the dynamic between Mario and Peach, like, I get it. It's more or less established that in this version they're complete strangers, but it feels like they're definitely rushing the romantic dynamic between them. Also, the bond between Mario and Luigi, it feels a little too forced. Like, I don't know. For what it was worth, like I said, the Mario movie, as a standalone movie, was passable, more or less. Oh my god, don't even get me started. Every time they introduce an iconic female character from a video game, Hollywood just loves turning her into a by-the-numbers girl boss. I'm dreading it with Amy Rose. I'm dreading it with Rosalina. They did it with Princess Peach. Like, part of the reason the Mario movie was so successful, more or less, in terms of the narrative, in my opinion, was because I get the feeling that Miyamoto, the Japanese guys at Nintendo and whatnot, I feel like they were breathing down the writers' necks in Illumination. Who did write the Mario movie, now that I think about it? Just to see if it confirms my theory. Writer of the Mario movie. Yeah, it's just one white guy from Illumination. Yeah, just the one guy. Yeah, I'm willing to bet Miyamoto and whatnot were actually breathing down his neck in the writing room, more or less. Or at the very least, they gave him a lot to edit, more or less. Yeah, they got this one Toad with the glasses and the deep voice and whatnot, but no, totally not Toadsworth. Maybe it's a young Toadsworth with a different color head and no mustache and he's a little younger? I don't know, man, I'm reaching. I'm really reaching. It's because Shadow the Hedgehog retconned Shadow's backstory into him being an alien? Really? So how did it go down in beforehand? You know what, I don't... Do I really need to be asking these questions? Like, I don't know. The Mario movie, it's definitely... In certain parts, it feels like the writers and the artists and whatnot, okay, in the attention to detail and the background Easter eggs and whatnot, yeah, pretty nice, but it feels like the writers and whatnot did not do their homework, at least on the American side. Like, it definitely could have been a little more thorough with the details, more or less, in terms of the lore and whatnot and the characters, but like I said, still passable. But alright, guys. Interesting question I have, actually. Before The Loud House was first made in Netflix, what was my original interpretation of it? How would I imagine a Loud House movie to be about? To be honest, guys, when a show gets too popular or I end up growing a soft spot for it, I don't exactly envision a narrative for a movie. Like, guys, just because a show is popular, I don't think a movie is warranted. It's a ridiculously common practice, but even then, I still don't think it's warranted. Crossing my fingers that the Lumas aren't annoying little shits like in the first movie. What first movie? Like in... Where the... Oh, right, the Luma Lee. Luma Lee. I completely forgot about Luma Lee. Like, I don't know. The funny thing about Luma Lee is... Like, if y'all have seen the new pages from the port... From the Mario Galaxy port to the Switch... Apparently, Luma Lee makes an appearance in the new pages. Or at the very least, it's speculated to be the Luma from the Mario movie. And... Speaking of Mario Galaxy, I need to buy it. I need to buy it. I need to go to the Nintendo eShop right now and buy it, because I really do want to play it on the Switch. Well, for one, it's $70. It's a big investment as far as I'm concerned. And secondly, am I ever going to have the time to play it? I work 10 hours every weekday. On weekends, I'm either streaming, preparing for streaming, or trying to actually rest, more or less. Toadsworth basically raced Peach and Mario and Luigi in the Mario and Luigi games, but in terms of okay, to be fair, mainland Mario doesn't really have a lot of lore. The lore is it's not too lore heavy. So, in that timeline, Toadsworth doesn't really do much. He's just there, more or less. He's just maybe the voice of reason within the Toads, the head of the Toads. I don't know how to interpret Toadsworth in the mainline games, to be honest. In Paper Mario and in the Mario and Luigi games, yeah, he definitely has a much bigger role. I don't mind changes in the source material. A lot of the movie is good and I enjoy it. Oh, okay. Good to know, Adave. Adafe? Adave? Hello, citizen. Welcome to the stream. How would I feel about a Gravity Falls movie? That's the... Funny story, APD. I know I said I'd usually never envision movies for popular TV shows and whatnot, but the only exception has been Gravity Falls. Just because of the way Gravity Falls ended. See you next... With the letter to Dippers that says, see you next summer. Okay? Can we get a movie about next summer? Like, maybe... Okay, definitely not Bill. He's definitely gone for good. And definitely not the main antagonist being Bill. Like, I don't know, just a bit of a glimpse of what happened the summer after... The summer of 2013. Because keep in mind, the summer in Gravity Falls, it canonically takes place in 2012. So what happened in the summer of 2013 when they... Like, obviously Dipper and Mabel want to go back to Gravity Falls, hang out with Sue... Oh, wait. Grunkle Stan is gone, so... Would they be staying at the Mystery Shack with Seuss? What about Seuss and Melody? Like, there's just, like, maybe explore the dynamic between Dipper and Pacifica? Because honestly, that felt a little unfinished. And I know people want more of that. I don't know. Yeah, the SpongeBob movie is still the definitive example for best cartoon movie. Like, it's a little silly, but hey, SpongeBob as a whole is silly in general, so I don't hate it. Like, some people might say, oh, SpongeBob harnessing the power of rock and roll to save everyone. It came out of nowhere. It's a Deus Ex Machina. Yeah. No, who cares, man? It's freaking SpongeBob. Just get in the locker, you nerd. Yeah, it is definitely one of the best. The SpongeBob movie has aged very gracefully. It's still really funny. All the jokes land. All the memes. Pretty much everything, more or less. Weird that they turned the shop Luma that gives you items and coins in the games into the suicidal Luma in the movie. That is true. The Luma... Is it confirmed to be the same Luma? I mean, it's the same color and whatnot, but is it the exact same Luma? You know, the Luma that sells you the mushrooms and whatnot? I want some underrated cartoons to watch. Any suggestions? Off the top of my head? I don't know, actually. Like, when people ask me these spontaneous questions to name something so niche, it's hard for something to occur to me. But alright, guys. That's enough small talk, more or less, or really big talk. I've been rambling for like, what, 20 minutes? Yeah, more or less. A little less than that, but still. But alright, guys. Let's get back to companionship. Well, last time we left off, okay, it was 2 weeks ago, so I'm definitely going to need a bit of a refresher, more or less. Stella has dinner at the Loud House, and then things get a little too awkward when all the sisters start bringing up these awkward incidents. Like, say, the bad luck incident, or pretty much a bunch of shenanigans revolving around Lynn. Stella starts getting a little too uncomfortable around Lincoln, but then Lincoln, hey, let's meet up at the park tomorrow. Well, let's talk about some of these things. He fesses up about the sister fight protocol, the bad luck incident. Obviously, Stella, like any rational person, hated everything that she heard. She's starting to grow resentment for Lincoln's sisters, and, well, let's see how it goes. And also, meanwhile, for whatever reason, Ronnie Ann's cousin overhears about Lincoln growing closer with Stella, so she wants to sabotage it for Ronnie Ann's sake. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of drama going on. The VOD should still be up, guys, so if there's anything you want to catch up on, you can probably read it for yourself, or you can just check the VODs. Although I will say this, as far as the VODs are concerned, I definitely do get sidetracked here and there. Luma Lee, Luma Bop, welcome to my Luma shop. Is that an actual line from the games boot? Honestly, it sounds really cute. Wait, is it? Hold on. I gotta look this up. Hold on. Am I crazy? Luma Lease also refers as a salesman Luma. Oh, okay. It is the same Luma. Okay. I'm not tripping. Light blue hungry Lumas introduced in Mario Galaxy. In that game, Luma Lee appears prior to boss battles in certain galaxies, blah blah blah. No, so it is the exact same species of Luma. Huh. Were they always called Luma Lee, or did they just make up that name for the movie? Probably the former. Okay, I have heard nothing but good things about Glitch Text, and apparently it got canceled, but you know what? I got a Netflix plan, I gotta check it out at some point, and from what I heard, it's really good, for whatever it's worth. People have told me, hey, it's a show for gamers, but you can tell it was actually written by gamers, more or less, for lack of a better term. Honestly, just saying the word gamer out loud just makes me cringe. That's the Luma Lee shop jingle? Okay, to be fair, I have not touched a Galaxy game in, like, what, 13 years, I want to say? It's been a while. Like, I remember I got Galaxy 2 on my birthday, the year it dropped, and back in 2010. Galaxy 1, it came with my Wii. But I've actually told this story before about when I first bought a Wii, it was a bundle from Costco. It came with Mario Galaxy, but then it got bricked for whatever reason. But thanks to the insurance, I was able to trade it in. But the bundle it got replaced with, it did not come with Mario Galaxy. So essentially, I don't own Galaxy 1. All the more reason I want to play it on the Switch. But anyways. Speaking of Galaxy, though, this music. What are the odds? But alright, guys. Let's get to the reading, shall we? Okay, I did just brush my teeth, so my voice might be a little flimsy. It was an odd walk home for Lincoln. Stella opting to go back to her house, wanting to blow off some steam. Yeah, after watching No Such Luck, everyone would be in... After hearing or watching the events of No Such Luck, yeah. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Knowing she would probably lose her patience if she had to deal with Lynn, especially after now. He hoped he didn't affect his friendship with Stella negatively, and he really hoped he didn't ruin anything for his sisters, especially Luna and Loanne. As he made his way past his house, he noticed Lynn in the driveway cleaning up Vanzilla. As dictated by her mother the previous day, she hadn't noticed him. As she was inside vacuuming, and he didn't want to deal with her 20 questions about his rendezvous with Stella, so he opted to go inside. When Lincoln arrived, he heard the usual chaos. The twins chasing each other around, Lisa trying to prevent something from exploding, Lenny using her blow dryer in the living room for some reason. Okay. Why wouldn't she just do it in her room? And Luna jamming on her guitar. The first to notice Lincoln's arrival was Lily, the 1-year-old clumsily walking towards him. Aww. That's a really cute gesture. At least in terms of the writing. Punch-Out? Honestly, I don't know much about Punch-Out. I mean, obviously I know who Little Mac and Doc Lewis are, but honestly, I don't know a lot about Punch-Out. Like, I remember owning the NES version on my 3DS, and yes, that is legally possible. Just because I got it for free with Club Nintendo, but Rest in peace, Club Nintendo, by the way, but I never got a chance to finish it. Even though it's a really short game, the more I think about it. Like, it's just like, what? 7 different matches and you're done? Like, honestly, I don't know a lot about Punch-Out. His only response was a giggle from Millie, a sound he loved to hear. Yeah, who doesn't love Lily, guys? Guys, is there a single person in this fandom who dislikes Lily as a character? Let me know so I can go hurt them. Lily is special, being the baby of the family, and possibly his last hope among his sisters. If there was one sister who has never treated him harshly, it was easily her. Until we get to frickin' Silence of the Luans for whatever reason. You know what? Can we just pretend that whole episode isn't canon? Can we just pretend all of the all the April Fool's episodes are not canon? Because a lot of them are just, all of them are just, ugh. Can we just pretend they were a really scary nightmare for like Lincoln or whatever? Please? Anyways. But of course, she's too young to even know how to be harsh. Hey, you're back, he heard the voice of Luan say. He turned his attention to his comedy-loving sister. Hey, Luan, Lincoln greeted, putting his baby sister down. Did I just pronounce a D with a TH sound? Okay, I am definitely a little too unfocused. He then noticed Luan looking a little disappointed. Did I come back at a bad time? Oh, no, I was kind of hoping Stella would be here too. I wanted to talk to her about the gig tomorrow, Luan said. Yeah, she had to go home, but she does want to talk to you soon, Lincoln said. Oh, good. Thinking about it, maybe I should have given her my phone number so we can talk back and forth, Luan said. Maybe think she'll stop by tomorrow afternoon, or maybe you can call or text her? Well, here's the thing, Lincoln said. The reason Stella wanted to talk to me is... Oh man, this is gonna be awkward. What's wrong? Luan asked, then started getting an idea. Is this about yesterday? Kind of, Lincoln said, nervously rubbing his head. We did talk a little more about the sister fight protocol, and she wanted an example, so I gave her one. You mean the dress thing? Well, I guess it's fine. Looking back at it was kinda silly. Kind of. Kind of. That's putting it way too lightly, girl. I've told some of my friends too. We got a good laugh. Yeah, she's not really bothered about that, but... Then she asked me about the bad luck fiasco, Lincoln said. This Luan wasn't prepared for. What? How did she even... Apparently Lynn told her. I don't know how much it was, but it was enough to pique her curiosity. Okay, that's the thing. In canon, it's never addressed that the sisters actually feel bad about that whole bad luck fiasco. And I hate that part about the narrative. Like, not for one moment at any point throughout the whole 9 seasons of the show have any of the sisters felt any genuine remorse for the whole bad luck incident. Like, not once did I ever hear, we're sorry for locking you outside, Lincoln. We're sorry for treating you like a bad luck charm. We're sorry for everything we did in that episode. Like, never so much as a sorry. It never gets addressed again. That's part of why it pisses me off so much. Characters at the end of the episode will be like, sorry for doing this. I learned my lesson. I will be better. Then proceed the next episode. Yeah, that's the thing. At the end of No Such Luck, they still don't learn their lesson. Lincoln proves he's bad luck by disguising himself as a mascot, but then the whole family's like, oh, you gotta wear the mascot suit to the beach. It brings good luck, it evens out your bad luck or whatever. Whatever the directors and the writers' interpretation is, it's still really stupid. Yeah, I still stand. All this time later, it has been 8 months since I published my worst episodes video. 9 months, actually. I completely forgot. We're in October now. It has been almost 9 months since I published my worst episodes video, and I still stand by it. No Such Luck is the worst episode in the whole series. I love Punch-Out. The boxers in Wii are all country stereotypes, but they have personality and aren't shown in a degrading way. Huh. Interesting. Isn't Donkey Kong like a secret boss in that game or something like that? I thought that was a really cool cameo. Because it's not the first time Donkey Kong has used boxing gloves. Like, if y'all remember Mario Super Sluggers on the Wii, like, for whatever reason, Donkey Kong's bat is a boxing glove. He doesn't use a bat, he just puts on a boxing glove, and I think it's kind of hilarious. They speak their native languages, their intro scenes show them how they are outside of the ring. It's great. That's cute. That's a nice attention to detail. When I'm in a character punching bag competition and my opponents are Lincoln Loud and Squidward. Bro, Squidward. Yeah, on some occasions, he's definitely a little too grumpy, but on other occasions, yeah, he definitely deserves better. Donkey Kong is the secret boxer? Yeah. I wouldn't buy it in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not. You know what? Let's just keep reading. Let's see. What? The bad luck thing? How did she even? Apparently, Lynn told her. I don't know how much, but it was enough to pique her curiosity. Luann clenched her fist in annoyance. That doofus? What was she thinking? She began to worry a bit, knowing that her new friend has knowledge of one of the family's lowest points. Well, what did she say? I mean, what did you tell her? I tried not going into detail. Just that I came up with a bad idea and I suffered the consequences. She seemed really unhappy. She seemed a little unhappy, but I'm sure she'll mellow out. If it makes you feel better, most of her wrath is aimed at Lynn, and apparently Lynn's been bothering her a bit, especially about the matchmaking. Well, Lynn deserves it. So, she doesn't dislike me, does she? Lincoln shrugged. I don't know. I hope she doesn't, and I told her that I forgave all of you. I'm sure she'll be understanding. Yeah, hopefully, Luann said. Say, why did you forgive us for that? I mean, that was really mean of us to do. Treat you like a luck charm? That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I mostly blame myself. Lincoln, you shouldn't. No, I don't like any narrative that encourages that. Just because he was dishonest at the start, it doesn't mean he deserves any of what's coming to him. I'll say that much. Like, it's... Can we stop pretending that just because Lincoln fibbed a little at the beginning, he deserved any of what's coming in that whole episode? Like, okay, he has to eat breakfast in the living room. Okay, he gets locked out of his room. Okay, he has to sleep outside. He can't even sleep on the couch. He has to sleep outside. He stayed in the doghouse. He still has to eat out. Like, no. That is just... I know it's a show that's not meant to be too realistic, and I shouldn't be taking it that seriously, but where do I draw the line here? Genuinely, where do I draw the line? As a Mexican, I will admit, we are incapable of PC. We love smack talk way too much, and when throwing shade, we use everything about anything. Kinda. I mean, I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican myself. I can more or less understand. The only good thing about No Such Luck is that everyone agrees it's the worst one. Even with something like SpongeBob, it's a debate whether one course meal, A Pal for Gary, or Pet Sitter Pat is the worst. Okay, 2 of those episodes I've never even seen, but A Pal for Gary, I do remember it. Like, if y'all are Mexican like me, like if y'all had access to an antenna television, on occasion, Channel 5, Canal 5 would air reruns of old enough SpongeBob episodes, and I remember seeing A Pal for Gary. Like, SpongeBob gets a new pet, turns out it's some sort of abomination. It turns into that in the middle of the night. Gary deals with it, and for some reason, SpongeBob misinterprets that as, Gary, why are you being mean to your new companion, Bad Snail? Like, again, just a really uncomfortable and uncompelling misunderstanding. Like, I understand why A Pal for Gary gets the flack it gets. He has a secret. He didn't forgive them. Yeah. Nowhere in the narrative, like, it's nauseating how nonchalant the writers and the directors are about this episode. They act like it's just another by the numbers, run of the mill, ha ha ha, cartoon shenanigans kind of plot. It's not. Like, it's just, there is just so much controversy that I think deserve to be addressed in even the slightest of capacities, but 7 seasons later, they still haven't. El Chavo Animado was so jarring because a character is missing in a... Yeah. Rest in peace, La Chilindrina. Like, El Chavo Animado, like, the first season, a lot of that was based off the classic episodes, but after that, they just threw things at the wall to see what stuck. And also, La Chilindrina is gone, and yeah, El Chavo Animado, it can only keep my attention for so long, but yeah, it definitely struggled. Night Fairy, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Alright, for those of you coming in who were here yesterday and didn't pay attention to the end of the stream, yeah, I'm a little burnt out from making tier lists, so for today, we're just going to keep reading Companionship, and hopefully next Saturday, if I'm not too burnt out, and also, like I said, I got a Phineas and Ferb video in the works. The script is done, I just need to record the lines and edit them, and like an idiot, I forgot to record the lines yesterday, like I said I would. So, as soon as the stream is over, record the lines, hopefully throughout the week, I can edit it bit by bit, on my when I get home from work, and we'll work from there. But alright. But yeah, with all that being said, Season 7's tier list is either going to be next Saturday or next Sunday. We'll have to wait and see. How would you guys feel? No, wait, no. I had it on my laptop, and I'm streaming from my PC, from my desktop PC. Like, I would say, how would you guys feel about watching me edit on stream? But at the same time, I'm a lot more comfortable editing on a laptop, to be honest. So, never mind. Forget I said anything. The new seasons can't replicate the humor and the line delivery that early SpongeBob seasons had. They had too much nostalgia baiting and callbacks because they're out of ideas. I can see why it feels that way. Like, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I have not paid attention to SpongeBob. At the very least, in the amount of details I do to the Loud House since, like, I want to say 2011, 2010. I don't know. It's been a while. At last, the Buford and Baljeet roast. Or, as a matter of fact, some of what I want to talk about, it does have a little bit to do with Buford. Not necessarily in a negative way, but it does have something to do with Buford. Also, guys, for those of you coming in, there's 11 of you in chat. Do me a favor, if you haven't already. Hit the like button on the stream. If you're not subscribed already, do me a favor and subscribe. Please and thank you. But yeah, the video got cooking. It does have a little bit to do with Buford. But anyways. Where did I leave off? Okay, this is where we left off, about Lincoln forgiving them. Like I said, I mostly blame myself. After all, I was really convincing. Quality acting, if I do say so myself. Maybe I can go to theater with those skills. Come on, Lincoln, this isn't a joke, Luann said, a little annoyed by her brother brushing this off too easily. Well, you are the expert on jokes, Lincoln said. I'm sorry if I seem obnoxious, but I'm just trying to find the bright side of this. Besides, the way I see it, when you get that low, you can only go up, and boy have we gone up. You really think so? Luann asked. I mean, it still feels like things are the same. It feels different for me. Look, don't worry about it. I'm sure Stella will come around. She's very laid back. Maybe right now, she's probably understood my forgiveness and is eager to see you again. Oh, I hope so, Luann said, her guilt coming back from her previous mistakes. She can't bear to lose a friend like her. You know what? It came a little out of left field, but so far, this dynamic between Luann and Stella, it's actually very charming. Like, to be honest, for the most part, it doesn't seem like Luann has a definitive close friend other than her boyfriend, but that's a whole different category. I don't think Benny can qualify as a best friend. I know people say marry your best friend and whatnot, but your spouse, your partner, your significant other, I feel like that's a whole different category of best friend. Know what I mean? So it's nice to see Luann actually have a platonic dynamic with someone that isn't related to her. Like, you can make a case for the rest of her theater troupe, but she really doesn't interact much with them. The more I think about it. Plus, modern SpongeBob's art style is different and the humor is more gross. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Ever since, like, Steven Hillenburg, I think he left the show's development and production pretty much after the movie was published, which was after season 3. And the movie was more or less meant to be treated like a finale, and it'd be a pretty effective finale. But then after season 3, they got a new director, they got new producers, presumably also different writers, and well, it's a tale as old as time at this point. And by as old as time, I mean about 20-something years, because the SpongeBob movie dropped in like 2004. The most you'll get with newer SpongeBob is very experimental, like, don't see other shows going back to their season 1 animation to decide in season 15? Huh. Personally, Kings of the Con was way worse than No Such Luck. I'm not a fan of Kings of the Con either. Don't think that I like it in any capacity. Because at least in No Such Luck, Lincoln was still in character, but yeah, the rest of the family wasn't in any capacity. I'll give the episode that. However, in Kings of the Con, Lincoln was way out. I guess you could. Does the character of the protagonist weigh a lot heavier than the rest of the cast, especially in a cast this big? I don't know. In fact, it's insulting since Lincoln and Clyde would have never done something so stupid. Yeah, that is true. I've discussed this before, actually. Cruel insisted that they did the episode since, yeah, the two may be boys, but they're... Okay, Night Fury, you could have put this all... No, wait, there is a character limit for chat messages. Okay, I get it. In fact, it's insulting. Lincoln and Clyde wouldn't have done anything, but they have a very strong moral compass. Yeah, especially Clyde. Now, what Lincoln got in No Such Luck was worse, but at least he was still in character. Okay, like I said, he was in character, but the rest of the cast wasn't. Present to you the downfall of Hype Squad, what do you mean? What about Diddy? I heard he got convicted for... Okay, I don't want to get political about this, but apparently the guy synonymous with pedophiles only got only got sentenced to like 4 years in jail. It's freaking ridiculous. Bro hates Ellis for love more than no such luck. What makes you say that? Just because I talked about Ellis for love a lot more, it doesn't mean I hate it more than no such luck. What do you mean? Well, I could say anything. This fanfic gets the spirit of the show. The girls never get to a true punishment. They either get forgiven, a back-end win, or it's just ignored. Like, honestly, that's the one thing I do like about this. Just the fact that, unlike the show, most of the time, especially in the later seasons, it actually conveys the emotions, more or less. The Loud House lobotomizes their characters to keep fitting an episode premise the writers are trying to make, more or less. Okay, Hype Squad, chill with the emotes, man. Guys, do me a favor, don't spam. If I don't see your message, if you're gonna type a message more than once, or if you're gonna spam a bunch of emotes, you don't need like 10 different copies of said emote or said message. But alright. Where did I leave off? Okay, that's where we left off. Okay. Listening from the top of the stairs, Lucy could sense Luann's worries, and even some doubt in Lincoln. Again, she cursed her jock sister. It seems she still hasn't realized that she's doing more harm than good. Yeah, that's a pretty common practice for Lynn. It's not a compelling practice, but it's a common practice nonetheless. A bad feeling passed through her. Please tell me I can actually see Hector on OBS. Somebody just subscribed. I don't know who, but thank you for subscribing. For some reason, I can't see the alert, though. Okay, give me a second. Maybe I left it in another tab. Hold on. By the time I find it, it's gonna be gone, though. So, oh well. Diddy Kong, that is. That's not political. Loud House Naruto crossover. Hype Squad. Bro, chill with the brain rot. Aura, that really doesn't help. When people think Diddy Kong, when people just think the first word of that name, they're immediately gonna think of you-know-who. Any love for over-the-top face expressions in animation, Western animation anime was killed by modern SpongeBob? Yeah. Modern SpongeBob, it just abuses the mechanic, for lack of a better way to explain it. Know what I mean? Like, it is just... like, the expressions, they're just... over the top, but not in the right ways. Like, maybe it's just the burnout talking. Like, this show has been going on for, like, what, 20-something seasons? Like, you can only put up with so much of a show before you realize, oh, this has been done time and again and again. Like, seriously, guys, no respectable cartoon has any business going on for more than, like, what, 5 seasons, 6 seasons? Like, at the very least, allude to some sort of conclusion, but a lot of Nickelodeon shows don't do that. Like, at the very least, Hey Arnold got a movie. Like, Invader Zim? Okay, Invader Zim got canceled the more I think about it. Avatar got a proper conclusion. Fairly Odd Parents? Okay, it more or less got canned. There's just so many examples as far as Nickelodeon is concerned where the show just gets canceled, or doesn't get a proper conclusion, or it just runs on for a lot longer than what it needs to. Hello, Tails. Welcome to the stream. Speaking of Naruto, the TMNT crossover comic wrapped up, and the collected edition is now on the market. Reading it now and it bends them into the universe? I mean, if it worked for Batman, maybe it can work for Naruto. I don't know. Batman was more or less trained by ninjas and whatnot. He was trained by assassins, or at the very least, that's the Nolan canon. Who did train Batman in the comics and whatnot? Like my only knowledge of Batman's origins, other than, you know, his parents being murdered, is just the fact that Ra's al Ghul trained him. Like, honestly, I don't know a lot about Batman in that regard, at least in terms of actual canon. Yeah, you really don't need the budget to fixate too much on expressions. That's the one thing. Wildpack, Wildpack, the Nickelodeon show, it just barely aired like 2 weeks ago over here in Mexico. I saw a couple episodes, and one thing I've noticed, I like the art style, I like the soundtrack, and so far the characters are not too bad. Like Jack and Lily, they do give that vibe of siblings that pick on each other here and there. And you know what? Maybe it's because Dipper and Mabel are a gold standard for siblings in fiction. And I will say, Jack and Lily, they come close. They do have these occasions where, like, oh, my brother stinks, my brother is mean, but I still love him. Like, I am just so sick of that kind of mentality. Even in kids show. Like, how hard is it for just respect your sibling consistently? Like, no insults, no compliments, unless it's warranted or it makes for a good laugh. Like, I don't know. In terms of sibling dynamics are concerned, Dipper and Mabel from Gravity Falls, they are the gold standard. But alright. Once again, I am getting way too sidetracked. At this rate, we're not going to finish this chapter for another, like, 2.5 hours. I mean, to be fair, Erica, though, Arthur and Sesame Street, they are aimed at toddlers. They don't have to be too nuanced most of the time when it comes to entertaining children, because it's more or less it's mostly educational. It's educational. Like, when it comes to making an actual narrative and telling a story, yeah. Arthur and Sesame Street, they don't have to try too hard. Not that I really know much about it. They can get serious here and there. Like the episode of Arthur where I think it was his grandma who was diagnosed with cancer. The whole Mr. Hooper moment in Sesame Street. Like, I don't know. Just because they're aimed at toddlers doesn't mean they can't get serious every now and again. We're never going to get moments like those ever again, to be honest. Or at the very least, we're never going to get them again done right. But alright. Back with Stella, the normally cheery girl looked to be in a really foul mood as she walked home, passing by Flip's gas station. I honestly can't believe it, that would happen. The dress thing, I can kinda get it, but treating their only brother like a bad luck charm? Stella groaned in frustration. I can't fathom how Lincoln would be cool with that. I mean, I guess it's not too surprising. He's usually very passive. Yeah, he is a little too submissive to his sisters. Even when he gets annoyed, but to put up with that? I don't even think I could do that. As she walked, she heard a familiar voice call out to her. Hey, Stella. Stella turned to see Clyde coming out of Flip's shop, Flippy in hand. Oh, hi, Clyde. Didn't expect to see you out here. Actually, I guess it's not surprising. You and Lincoln love... Okay, you did not need all these words. You did not need this kind of exposition. We know that Lincoln and Clyde and pretty much everyone in town likes Flippies. She could have just said, what are you doing here, and left it at that. Alright. How can I work around that? Okay, I'll just skip this. A little surprised to see you here myself, though. I thought you were with Lincoln at the park today. I already did. We just had a little chat, Stella said, looking to the side. Well, not little. It was kind of intense. Clyde immediately noticed a solemn look in her eyes, plus her tone and voice told him something was up. Is something bothering you, Stella? Clyde, how long have you been friends with Lincoln exactly? 6 years. 7 in the end of October, Clyde said. And during that time, you've gotten to know his sisters pretty well, right? Yeah, I mean, I never really hung out with them much, but the times I did, I had a blast. I still remember when Lenny tried helping me with my crush on Lori, so I wouldn't get a nosebleed or act like a robot around her, or when Lynn gave me Lincoln great advice about middle school. Huh? What did she tell you? Remember that orientation thing our school had for Royal Woods Medal? Well, Lynn offered to be our buddy for that and gave us some helpful advice, like never ask for directions or always be quick to grab a seat. I thought you guys agreed that ultimately Lynn gave terrible advice. Okay, that is a bit of a continuity error. Granted, it almost went really bad for us because we ended up annoying a few kids and they told us, okay, never mind, I take it back. Wait, they wanted to beat you up? Yeah, well, we thought that, but they were just messing around, Clyde said. Lynn just gave us advice based on her first year and where she was bullied a lot, which is why she developed this tough girl attitude. And I guess she tried to instill it on me and Lincoln. I mean, yeah, it backfired, but she meant well. Yeah, well, Lynn always seems to have good intentions, but she never thinks about the consequences, Stella spat out. Stella? This talk you had with Lincoln and about his sisters, are things okay? You haven't gotten into a scuffle with any of them, have you? Clyde asked. If I did, it would probably be with Lynn, Stella admitted. I hate to say this, but out of all of Lincoln's sisters, Lynn's the only one who rubbed me the wrong way. First off, she's been trying to get me and Lincoln to be boyfriend and girlfriend, even though we've told her that we're not interested. At First, I thought it was sweet that she wanted to help her little brother, and it's flattering that she gave me her blessing, but now it's just getting annoying. Well, Lincoln's sisters do tend to try to do that, and they get too curious whenever a girl shows interest in him. You should have seen him with Ronnie Ann. I get it, but at least the other sisters backed off when we made it clear we just wanted to be friends. I mean, yeah, some of them still have hope, and I don't blame them, but Lynn is just so pushy, Stella said. And she said such terrible things about her siblings, even Lincoln. I can tell she stresses him out a lot, and it just bothers me that he has to go through that. Well, he doesn't mind. He loves his sisters after all, Clyde said. Yeah, they can be bad. I mean, I've seen firsthand how mad they can be at him, and they do tend to jump to conclusions, but they always work things out in the end. I mean, I can tell you stories, but I think it's best to just ask him. I've already asked Lincoln about some things, like the sister fight protocol. Clyde cringed a bit at the mention of the very protocol that caused such a ruckus in the Loud House. Yeah, I remember Lincoln coming to me about that. It must have been rough. Does Lincoln often talk to you about stuff that happens between him and his sisters? Stella asked. Yeah, lots of times. I've been there for some. Like I said, I've got stories. Did Lincoln ever mention an incident that involved luck? Stella asked. Clyde's face went somber. Did he, mention anything to you? He told me the whole situation, and it really ticked me off. But has he told you, or? Yeah, I know about it. He told me about it after I asked why he was wearing a squirrel suit. Not their best moment, I can tell you that. I almost stopped loving Lori because of it, until I realized I can't go without her. Okay, canonically, we all know Clyde doesn't like Lori anymore, and there's no explanation, but either way, I think it's for the best. Modern South Park is one of the worst adult shows in my opinion because it lost the heart and soul that classic South Park had. We don't need modern politics in a show that's made to make us laugh. I mean, to be fair though, that's kind of been the purpose for South Park most of the time. Just parody. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't miss when it comes to addressing real-world issues in a comedic manner, but yeah, as of late, and even a while back, they've definitely missed the mark. Like the whole Tegrity Farms arc, like the whole arc of the family moving to the weed farm and whatnot. Like, yeah, I thought it was really boring and uninspired. Like that whole episode where, I don't know if I'll get demonetized for discussing this, but that whole episode where everyone literally wants to get Tom Brady's crap. Like, it was disgusting. I don't see any irony in it. Sometimes South Park definitely misses the mark. I will say that much. The amount of fanfics that were made in retaliation and no such luck, yeah. It's hilarious, but to me, it's unsurprising. When you have such a god-awful episode and you go all this time, all these years, all these seasons without so much as addressing it ever again, like just running away with your tail between your legs, like, it's definitely... I definitely understand people's grievances to the point where they would be inspired to do this. Yeah, the Trump jokes, they got old really fast. And they were already pretty... Like, wow. A modern TV show making fun of Republicans. How original. How demure. How inspired. Give him the Emmy. Like, say what you will about the political spectrum and whatnot, but making fun of Republicans, that's really nothing new. That's really nothing new. Nothing that has been new in, like, the past 20 years. I'll say that much. The Clyde and Lori dynamic was weird, especially when Lori was using Clyde to make Bobby jealous. Yeah, all the more reason I'm kind of glad they scrapped it. It made for a couple good laughs and maybe some decent messaging. I don't know. I've never looked too hard into it, but it's for the best that it's gone. And it seemed like they were going to more or less replace the whole Lori dynamic with Chloe, but we know how that played out. Matt and Trey went from creative outsider to these super sheltered celebrities, and it ruined their sense of humor, I guess. Okay, guys, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Oops, wrong layout. Okay, did I turn the mic on? Okay, I did. Wait, did I forget? Did I turn it off before I left? I don't know if I did. Okay, everything should be good. What has chat been saying while I was away? Just out of curiosity. Okay, apparently there was a lot of discussion going down in the 5 minutes that I was gone. We should start playing Staying Alive during the breaks because the little mud can be strutting, or... I think we should be playing Break My Stride, you know? Ain't nobody gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. I kind of want to, but also copyright. Y'all know how it goes. Also, hi John, what's up? Welcome to the stream. They don't understand their characters anymore. Carton doesn't do anything anymore. He just kind of reacts to things with fear and frustration, I guess. Like, I don't know. They have an episode where he's sad that woke is over and he's not special anymore. Hated that song since it showed Stan being threatened by P Daddy and Night Fury. That is not a better euphemism, my dude. Okay. Okay, if we have to mention this disgusting monster, we need to come up with a better euphemism. Kind of like Voldemort. Fair enough. I hate that they never went after Biden, even though there's so much good. Yeah. A whole term, 4 years worth of blatant incompetence and behind-the-scenes manipulation. Like, you can just tell he was dying on the inside, and they just never made any humor about it for whatever reason. But, alright guys, let's just not... Let's lay off the politics. Let's lay off the political discussions, because that's not what I want to run. That's not what I want to be known for on this channel, more or less. That's the last thing most people want to be known for on their channels, more or less. Not that I disagree with most of it, but still, let's just lay off of it, please. Season 8 and 7 tier list after this. Tracy, like I said at the beginning of the stream and at the end of stream yesterday, I'm pretty sure, I'd like to believe you were there, but who knows. Those are gonna wait until next week, just because I'm a little burnt out from making tier lists pretty much every time I stream. Also, I was too lazy to just make the template today for Season 7. But we will get to it, don't worry. Probably next Saturday, if I'm not feeling too burnt out by then, and like I said, I'm working on another video behind the scenes, so... maybe next Sunday, maybe next Saturday, we'll have to wait and see. Like, I don't know, just keep in mind, guys, it took me about a month and a half's worth of weekends to finish pretty much every Loud House episode, every Loud House video I've made. At least the last one. The other two, they took even longer because they're almost an hour and a half long. But this one was 45 minutes long. Like, I can only edit, like, if I'm locked in, I can only edit about 25 minutes throughout the course of one weekend, more or less. I guess not really a month, but also I gotta record all the footage. I gotta mail it to myself because I can't record on I don't have a recording software on my laptop. I can't install it. It's a little too technical, so I just record on my desktop, mail the lines to my laptop. Like, I don't know. It's an arduous process, more or less. Have I read the Fanfiction? Okay, Night Fury. The thing about the sequel to this, to Companionship, it gets way too lewd for comfort. Like, I know there's a T-rated version, but even then, it gets way too inappropriate. Guys, I'll say this right now for legal reasons. Do not read the sequel to this fanfiction if you are underage. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, it gets way too lewd. Sid is completely out of character. She's mischaracterized as this huge pervert. And as a result, I'm not sold on her character growth or her dynamic with Ronnie Ann. Like, there's a lot of ideas I like. Like, okay, I'm probably never going to read the sequel on stream, guys, because like I said, it's way too inappropriate and too vulgar. But yeah, the sequel to this, there's a couple ideas I liked. The idea that Lincoln and Stella have been together for several years, and, well, we know how Lincoln goes. He's a man with a plan. He overthinks everything to the point where he always misses something, and he knocked up Stella. That sounds so weird to say it out loud, but you know what? When you put that aside, it's actually a rather engaging narrative, but honestly, the whole Ronnie Ann and Sid dynamic really kind of ruins it. Like, I don't know. This guy, for whatever reason, he mischaracterizes Sid as this giant pervert. It's out of character. It's inappropriate. Like, some ideas I can stomach it for whatever reason, but most of it is a bit of a red flag. Like, it was really sweet. I'm still, even to this day, even in the realm of fanfiction, I'm sold on any well-written Lincoln and Stella dynamic, even this one, but The sequel to this? It's got way too many problems for my comfort. A couple things I do like about it, but I don't know how I feel about it in its entirety. Also, Night Fury, it's a sequel, not a prequel. There's a difference. I have been writing my own story on and off as a hobby. Yeah, some people do that as a hobby, more or less. Why did YouTube shove the need a break reminder when I'm still active on YouTube? They do that with live streams, they do that with music. Like, if the video's still going, then just leave it. You're not Netflix, YouTube. Like, it's okay for people to just... Like, sometimes on occasion, I fall asleep with my laptop open and a YouTube video running. But then, ironically, what wakes me up is the fact that YouTube just pauses the video on its own and it says, "Are you still watching?" I am now, because I'm awake. Like, sometimes the white noise, it just helps you sleep. Or at least it helps me sleep sometimes. Although, what does it say about me when I fall... What does it say about my sense of loneliness when I fall asleep with an open laptop? I honestly don't know. But anyways, let's get back to it. Does Lincoln often talk to you about the stuff that happens with him and his sisters? Yeah, lots of times. Did he ever mention a luck incident? Did he tell you anything? He told me everything, and it really ticked me off, but has he told you, or... Yeah, I know about it. He told me about it after I asked why he was wearing a squirrel suit, and it's not their fondest moment, I can tell you that, and I almost stopped loving Lori because of it, until I realized I can't go without her. Well, in canon, apparently you did, my boy. If you really like Lori that much, why did you try hooking up with me? What? A guy can't spread out? Okay, Clyde is a man whore. I'm sorry, it feels so weird to say that about a freaking... an 11-year-old boy. I take it back. Yeah, that did not feel... It did not feel right to say that out loud. It's a prequel if it takes place before something and it takes place before companionship, but it takes place after. It takes place like 4 years in the future. It focuses on Lyra's birth and Stella carrying her to... Okay. Hold on. Are you messing with me, man? A story or movie containing events that precede those of an existing work. Okay, Night Fury, it feels like you're gaslighting me. Doesn't prequel mean... Yeah, it's made after the events of this story, but canonically, those events do take place after said story. I need to go. Okay, goodbye and good luck with your live stream. Okay, man? Alright, Power. Thanks for sticking around, my guy. Horrified face.png? Why, Erica? What's wrong? Did I say something? Anyways. Consider it an honor that you got my attention away from Lori. Hey, she wouldn't be the only one in canon, but we're still pretending Chloe doesn't exist. For whatever reason. That still pisses me off so much, but you know what? Let bygones be bygones, I guess. The only other girl that came close to Lucy's friend was Lucy's friend, Haiku. Stella said, then shook it off. Not the point. How did you forgive his sisters, assuming you did? Simple. Because Lincoln forgave them, Clyde said. I mean, I can't be mad at the younger sisters. They're younger than me, and they just didn't know any better. Lenny's the same. She's sweet, but you know how ditzy she is. It really came to a matter of trying to forgive Lynn, Luann, Luna, and Lori. Lincoln just reassured me that they won't make a mistake like that again. Them or the writers? Plus, after all we've been through, like Luna taking me to my first concert, Luann always making me laugh, and Lori just being the amazing girl she... Okay, the more I read about Clyde just glazing Lori like this, it really kind of makes me want to see a storyline of Clyde getting over Lori, like definitively, not just, oh hey, not him not getting nervous around her, just him getting over Lori, period. It really wasn't that hard. My advice is to just go talk to them about it. I know they feel bad about it. Do they though? In canon they haven't. Lincoln's upset his sisters too, and they find a way to forgive him. You mentioned the positives of Luna, Luann, and Lori, but what about Lynn? Well, I didn't have that many memories with Lynn, but I do appreciate her because if it weren't for her, Lincoln and I would have never met because she ditched him while they were trick-or-treating. So I guess in a way, I owe my friendship with Lincoln to her, Clyde said. Plus, she did compliment my hacky sack skills. Okay, you could have left that line out and nothing would change. Wait, you said you've been friends with Lincoln for 6 years, so you were 5 years old when you met? Stella said. Yeah, why? So Lynn ditched a 5-year-old boy? Stella asked, making Clyde a bit nervous. In her defense, Stella, she was 7. She didn't really have a concept of responsibility. Easy mistake for a kid. Clearly she never learned any, Stella said, still pouting a bit. Stella, maybe you should just talk to them. Let them know how you feel. Maybe it's easier for me to forgive them because the Louds are like a second family to me. And sometimes I feel like I'm one of them. And they really do treat me like family. For all the good and the bad. Didn't you bond with any of them? Lincoln mentioned you really got close with Luna and Luann. You think they would hurt Lincoln? Do they seem like bad people or just people who are prone to mistakes? Stella thought about this a bit. Luna does seem to value Lincoln a lot, and he has always talked great things about her in the past. Luann, however, she was something special. Based on the talk she had with her, Stella knew the comedy-loving girl deeply cared for Lincoln, just based on their conversation the other day. She owed it to Luann to hear her out at least. Plus, if Lincoln really did hate his sisters for the bad luck incident, then why would he be so willing to introduce Stella to them? I mean, it's not like he did. He invited you to the house, but... Okay, that is true. I guess he did want her to meet them. Lynn is flat out annoying to her brother. Yeah. Common Lynn L. L is for love? More like L is for Lynn. Whoa! Got him. You're right, Clyde. Maybe I judged them too harshly. I meant to say, rather than focusing on her parents and their wacky adventures as parents and as a married couple. Okay, I get what you're saying, Night Fury, but that's still not the definition of a prequel. Oh, alright. Okay, where did I... Okay, I got sidetracked a little. Okay, keep in mind, guys, I'm looking at 2 monitors at the same time. One to look at chat and one to actually read. And I already lost myself again. Okay, I want to believe this is where we left off. You're right, Clyde. Maybe I judged them too harshly, Stella said. It happens. His sisters get more flack than they deserve sometimes. It's about looking past all that. Oh, I should get going. My dad's expecting me to be home soon. I don't want them to get worried. Hear me out, hear me out. What if, throughout this whole conversation, like, what if Clyde wasn't at Flips alone getting flippies? What if he was just getting flippies with Chloe and they bumped into Stella? But then again, how would Chloe contribute to the conversation? You know what? Okay, never mind. Forget I said anything. Any young person obsessively crushing on someone much older than them as a young child should be taught to get over it. Yeah. Dipper got over Wendy, Mac got over Frankie, but here, they did nothing. Especially if said older person is related to one's best friend. That, you know what, that does make it a little more questionable the more you think about it. I.e. the best ship in the show. It is the best ship in the show, unquestionably. Like, to be honest, most of the time I've been familiar with the Loud House. I was indifferent towards Stella, but then I watched White Hair and I was like, okay, what the hell are they doing? Why is Stella just on the sidelines? Anyways. Alright, bye, Clyde. Thanks for the advice. Anything for a friend, Clyde said, making his way home. Come to think of it, considering how supportive Clyde was of Lincoln winning over the new girl in white hair, why the hell was he crushing on Stella in Be Stella My Heart? Like, he knows he's a new girl. He knows he's the new girl Lincoln befriended on the bus. I'm willing to bet Lincoln told him that his encounter with a new girl was more or less a complete success. So is Clyde really shallow enough to still build these feelings for her, even at Lincoln's expense? Man, all the more reason I dislike Be Stella My Heart, man. And it's not just because of, I want to say it's not because of personal bias. Yeah, John, we more or less already discussed this. But alright. Stella was left with a lot to think about as she made her way home. Yes, she now sees the Loud Girls in a new light, mostly unfavorable, but she's still getting to know them, and she still wants to get to know them, especially Luna and Luann. They're just way too nice to give up on. Perhaps she'll try to rekindle something soon. Oh, sweetie, if only every friend or romantic prospect I've ever known shared that mentality. But then again, most of them live in another country and whatnot, so even if I managed to rekindle my connections with my lost friends, it probably wouldn't be so simple. I don't know. Friendships are complicated. Back at the Loud House, Lori was still texting Carlota. The day was getting closer when they finally enact their plan. Carlota had alerted Lori to Ronnie Ann catching on, thanks to her friend Sid making it too obvious. Lori wasn't worried though. All they had to do was stick to the plan. Plus, if Carlota was right about Ronnie Ann's feelings, she wouldn't resist the idea of seeing Lincoln again. During her texting, she got another text from her friend Dana, much to her confusion. Huh? What could Dana want? She checked her text, and to her shock and surprise, there were pictures of Lincoln and Stella at the park. Dana having gotten pics of their conversation, and what's more interesting is the last picture with the two hugging. This didn't seem like a normal friendly hug to her. It seemed like something much more. What irked Lori was the most was a bunch of heart emojis with one phrase that really pushed Lori's buttons at the moment. Lincoln plus star shirt cutie for... Okay, what is with this fandom and just the term cutie? For the background characters that just don't have names. Like, why is this a thing? Genuine question. I hate the trope main character's bestie obsessively crushes on side characters' older family members. Yeah. Is there any other example other than Clyde and Lori? Like, Mac and Frankie, that's its own thing. Like, they're not... It's not like Frankie is Blue's best friend or is Blue's sister or anything. Like, I don't know. Is there any other example of that trope? Because I can't think of any off the top of my head. And I suddenly get a hiccup. But alright. Dang it, Dana, you're gonna ruin so many things for me, Lori said, angrily texting to her friend, asking for all the details she knew. Though as she did this, she got more texts. Some from Becky telling Lori how cute her little brother's girlfriend was. One from Chaz offering to come by and help give Lincoln some guy talk. And one from Joey asking how happy her sisters were about the couple. How many of my friends know? Lori quickly dialed one of her friends, being Becky, the red-haired girl currently blow-drying her hair. She had placed the machine down and answered her friend's call. What's up, Lori? Becky, what's with those pictures of my little brother you and our friends sent out? Oh, just some stuff we saw at the park today, Becky said. We were hanging out there and when we saw your brother with his little girlfriend. That's not his girlfriend. It's just a friend from school he's been hanging out with lately. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I understand Lori's motivation here. Like, if she's dreading the fact that if Lincoln and Stella get together, he might be on bad terms with Ronnie Ann. And if he's on bad terms with Ronnie Ann, Bobby's just gonna dump her out of the blue again. Because she assumed, like, honestly, I'm glad it's working off of the ideas from Save the Date, but at the same time, I respect the continuity. I'm glad they're respecting continuity, but at the same time, the continuity, the source material for the continuity, it's not good. It's not a good episode. Save the Date is a really awful episode in terms of morally and narratively. Okay, Lincoln, he talks shit about his bully gets offended. His bully is his sister's boyfriend's sister. And as a result, Lori's boyfriend breaks up with her, so Lincoln has to go on a date just in the hopes that they get back together. Like, it's so dumb, man. But at the same time, if I were to roll with it, I understand Lori's motivations here. Like, the way she's behaving. Like I said in my videos, guys, just because Lori is an adult, just because she's the oldest sister of the family, it doesn't mean she's incapable of pettiness and immaturity. And in some capacity, it matches her character in some capacity. It's not Lori coded enough. She's not saying literally every other sentence. I guess. Carl Weezer and Jimmy's mom. That's true. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Carl and Jimmy's mom. I hated that. Like, I guess it's mostly played for laughs, but it's still really dumb. Like on one or two occasions where Carl makes a joke about it, but it still feels really inappropriate. Lori is kind of being selfish here, but yeah. Yeah, she's basically serving as the antagonist here, and her motivation makes sense for the most part. Like, if we're following the continuity from Save the Date, then it makes sense more or less. But alright. That's not his girlfriend, Lori immediately corrected. It's just a friend from school he's been hanging out with lately. Really? Well, if they are dating, give it some time. Maybe it can lead to something, Becky said. I mean, just their body language, that big hug at the end. I can tell they're heading for a really special relationship with each other. I doubt it. They were pretty keen about not dating. They told me themselves. Well, it's one thing to say what you're doing and another thing to show, Becky said. I can tell that girl really likes your brother, and I can see he really likes her. Yeah, the whole audience. You and the entirety of the show's audience, girl. It ain't just you. Just from the way they look at each other, how gentle they are, they just connect. I mean, why else would they be in the park together? Sure seems like they're trying to grow closer. Well, what did you see? Laurie asked. Did they kiss? No, and we're kind of bummed about it. We were so eager to see it happen, much to Laurie's annoyance. It looked like they were just talking. Don't know what about, though. They seemed kind of upset. But it was really sweet how they comforted each other, though. Upset about what? Laurie asked. I don't know. Couldn't hear what they were saying. Something about the sister fights, bad luck, and something about your sister Lynn? Becky said. Hey, your sisters are being nice to this girl, right? Laurie's pupil shrank, knowing how close her friends were to finding out about some very embarrassing moments for the family. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Again, in canon, it doesn't feel like any of the Loud family is ashamed about the events of No Such Luck and the sister fight protocol, and it still pisses me off. But moving on. Laurie? Becky repeated. Is everything okay there? I'm fine, Laurie said. Sorry, but I gotta go. Okay, why'd the music stop? Yes, I'm still watching. Ugh. Once again. Am I crazy or... Okay, I don't know how good the quality of my mic is, but did y'all hear the tires screeching outside? Just out of curiosity. I'm fine. Sorry, but I gotta go. I got a few things to say to my little brother. Ooh, some sisterly advice. Great idea. No one knows girls better than other girls, and I know you'll help your brother in that. Oh, believe me, I will, Laurie said, almost sinisterly, though not enough for Becky to catch on. Well, see you in class tomorrow. Okay, canonically, yep. Laurie's at college. I'm guessing Becky is just a casual phone contact. Okay, Nitro, you did hear it? Oh gosh. You know what? It can't really be helped. It's kind of hot today. I got the window open, and I'd rather not have to close it. So y'all are just gonna have to deal with it. Look at anime and you get many more examples? Boot, I don't really... Like I've said before, I don't watch... Okay, I'm friends with a lot of people who watch a lot of anime, but I'm not one of those people. I really don't... Like, my knowledge of anime and whatnot, it's very cursory, more or less. But anyways. Ooh, some sisterly advice. No, wait, I already read that. Well, see you tomorrow. And maybe afterwards. Yeah, good talk. Catch you tomorrow. Beep. She marched over to Lincoln's door, knocking on it. Lincoln? It's Laurie. Come in. Lincoln said, the older sister going with permission she wouldn't have respected anyways. Yep. You know what? It's nice seeing her actually respect his privacy for a change. As Laurie opened up, she found Lincoln reading his comics, seemingly without a care in the world. Hey, little bro. How was your day at the park? Fine? Lincoln said, somewhat suspicious. Why do you ask? Just wondering. My friends happened to see you, and they couldn't help but notice how cute you and Stella looked together. It almost sounded like a date. Was it? Laurie asked. No, we were just talking about stuff. Like I said, yeah, no interest in dating her. Tell me, is it really because she has no interest, or do you just keep her away? Laurie, you already know I had a crush on her when you first moved to Royal Woods, and realistically, you still do, my dude. You still do, my boy. That's why you and the others talked me out of wearing that leather jacket, remember? Yeah, you were so silly looking, we just had to call attention to it. Well, it's a good thing you did. That would have been a mistake. Stella would have just thought I was a creep. Oddly enough, I still tried to gel later just to be sure it wouldn't work. And it didn't work, right? Because you weren't being yourself? Well, I thought for a moment she didn't really like me, but then she just told us she just wasn't interested. It bummed me out, but I'd rather keep her as a friend than lose her altogether, Lincoln said. Well, if you ask me, Lincoln, it was a waste on her end, Laurie said. You're a great guy, and I think you need a girl that can appreciate that. Stella's alright, but if you felt you needed to change for her to like you, then she wouldn't have been worth it in the first place. Lincoln was surprised by Lori's suddenly friendly tone. He half expected her to be mad about something. Wow. Thanks, Lori. And that's why Ronnie Ann will be such a great fit for you, Lori said. Lincoln gave Lori a deadpan stare. Of course there had to be a reason. He missed the days when Lori was nice just for the sake of being nice, as opposed to it either coming with a price or just a rare freebie. Lori, Ronnie Ann is also just a friend. Well, yeah, you say that, but you always seemed so happy when you were hanging out with her. And I think she really likes you too, Lincoln. I know she did. I thought I did too, but it just got awkward. Besides, she lives in Great Lakes. It's not like we can do long distance, Lincoln said. Yeah, it's difficult, but if you ever want it to work, then I know you can find a way to make it work, Lori said. Just remember, you need a girl who really understands you and isn't afraid to be herself. One who's confident in who she is. A strong girl. Right. Point taken. Is that all? Just one more question. Since you and Stella were just talking, what was it about that you needed to meet with her alone at the park? I mean, if it wasn't a date, why didn't you just bring her here? It's personal. We didn't want to take any chances that someone would snoop. Personal, huh? It wouldn't have anything to do with us, would it? Lori asked. Lincoln narrowed his eyes at his sister. What are you getting at, Lori? Oh, nothing. Just a simple question, Lori said. I can see you don't want to discuss this, so I'll drop it for now. But just remember, little bro, word gets around. As Lori left his room, Lincoln started to grow worried. Just the idea that Lori's friends could have heard anything would be bad. He really doesn't need these rumors spreading around Royal Woods, at least the schools. Things would just get even more chaotic and his family would be at the center of a lot of ridicule. Bad enough, many of the local pool areas still have them banned because of how chaotic they tend to be. In public, no less. Meanwhile, in the shared room of Lynn and Lucy, the jock had made her way inside, having finished brushing her teeth, when she noticed her younger sister writing on a piece of paper. Hey, Luce, so you actually gonna stay here for the night this time? Lynn asked. That depends. Are you gonna be tolerable? Lucy asked, almost rhetorically. Have you finally realized why I was so unhappy in the first place? Come on, Luce, what's with you lately? Alright, I get the first 2 times maybe you wanted a break. Maybe the first time we argued a lot. Maybe the second time I had a problem with your bats and you had a problem with my mess. But that's been fixed. I mean, what even happened this time? I didn't say anything mean. I'm just fixing a problem before it starts. Besides, you said yourself, you still feel like we're bad roommates. That was 2 days ago. The first night, I get it. The second night, you were pushing it, but now you're just not making any sense, Lynn said. Like I said, fixing a problem before it starts. I can feel a storm coming and I don't want to get caught up in your problems. You've been obsessed with the idea of Lincoln getting with Stella. And while I too support it, you've been really pushy about it. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if Stella begins to resent you. Excuse me for wanting my bro to be happy, Lynn said. At least I'm doing my part to help him. You wanted to be happy? The same brother you called bad luck just because you were being a sore loser? Ugh, why do you always bring that up like I'm the only one who did that? All of you called him bad luck too. He even tricked us. It was still hurtful of you to say that to a brother who only wished to... Okay, that definitely could have been written a little better. All he wanted to do was support you at your game. That's still very hurtful. He didn't have to go. Hey, he almost did until I made him change his mind, Lynn said, much to Lucy's ire. All I have to say is that the trope is tired and gross. If not ended correctly, end of story. Yeah, simple enough, Boo. In this case, it just was never ended at all, more or less. Lynn slander hour? It's not even me, it's the story, Nitro. I wish I could say I found that surprising, but that would be completely untrue. Quite frankly, it just makes it worse. What, did you threaten him? Were you gonna beat him up? Take his comics? Take his games? Find some way to publicly shame him? But what about you? What about all the bad things you've done to him? What bad things? Lucy shouted. This argument started to get the attention of the other siblings. Oh, do you need a refresher? Because I think I have something you might find interesting, Lynn calmly said. What? Are you gonna bring up a past argument? Well, what is it? When he failed us and embarrassed us? When we were looking for that wad of cash, the chore strike, go ahead. I've forgiven Lincoln and he's forgiven me. That's the one thing I can't say about you. I'm sure he still doesn't like you for all the things you've done. I doubt things are all that peachy between you two, Lynn said, pulling something from under her sheets, holding it behind her back as she approached her gothic sister. During this, she realized they had an audience of 9 other siblings. Lynn, what's going on in here? Lori asked. Why are you two arguing? Lana asked. Lucy, what's happening? Lincoln asked. Oh, I'm glad you're all here, especially you, Stinkin', because I found something that everyone's gonna find interesting, Lynn said. Then from behind her back, she showed off the Princess Pony comic. Ta-da! If Lucy wasn't already pale, one could see the color leaving her skin, her deepest secret having just been revealed by Lynn to the entirety of the other sisters. Lincoln could tell this was going to get bad for Lucy. He had to think of something quick. Oh no, Lynn must have found my secret stash. Lincoln put on an act in hopes of getting the attention of the other sisters. Man, this is just embarrassing. I mean, save it, Stinkin', I know it's not yours. No way you could have snuck this into our room, Lynn said. Wait, Lucy reads Princess Pony? Luann asked. Exactly. Turns out, it wasn't Lincoln after all, so there is hope for his masculinity. Hey, my masculinity is just fine, Lincoln said. Uh-huh, sure thing, bro. Lynn said. Honestly, why are you even trying to defend Lucy? What's the deal? She blackmailing you or something? What? No, I mean, hey, who's to say that it's really hers? I mean, it's okay, Lincoln, Lucy said. You don't have to pretend anymore. It's pointless. Lucy? Is that book yours? Lucy said. Sigh. Yes, it's mine, Lucy confessed, getting a gasp from the other sisters. Wow. Never would have guessed Lucy to be a fan of that stuff, Lana said. Yeah, she is the last person I expected. Thought she hated all that pretty stuff, Lola said. Even I need a break from the darkness sometimes, Lucy said. There's only so much of it even I can take. So you admit it. You're the one who reads Princess Pony. You're the one who clogged the toilet, meaning you made Lincoln take the fall for something he didn't do, Lynn accused. What? No, Lucy tried to explain herself, but Lynn was getting too ahead. So, Lincoln had to take the blame and the insults for something he didn't do, and he even missed his Ace Savvy convention. And he was so excited for it. That's just cold, Luce. Lynn's right, Lucy. That was pretty classless, Lola said. That convention meant a lot to him. All to cover some dumb book obsession? Even I wouldn't push my faults into someone else, Lisa said. I'm very disappointed, Lucy. You're better than that, Lori said. Lucy started trembling a bit. She could feel the watchful eyes of her sisters, all of them likely judging her, not only for her secret hobby, but for making Lincoln take the fall for something she did. Guilt started to swell up in her, fear and insecurities rising up. She couldn't handle it. She just wanted to run, get as far away as possible. Hey, may I say something? Lincoln said, getting all the attention drawn to him. I might as well just admit it. Yes, I took the blame for Lucy. No, she didn't make me do it. She didn't blackmail or threaten me. In fact, she was ready to confess, but I decided to take the blame for her instead. Why would you do that? Luann asked. You missed out on your convention because of it. Lori said it herself. I'm guessing the author wasn't the biggest fan of Sleuth or Consequences by the looks of it. I mean, personally, it doesn't bother me too much that it was left open-ended. Like, basically, Lincoln kept Lucy's secret, but it definitely would be a nice gesture if it ever gets addressed again, but we know how the show works. They're probably not going to bother. It's been 8 seasons. Being ganged up on by your own family is an awful feeling. I mean, if you legitimately screwed up, if it's like some sort of intervention, then you deserve no better. But in this context, she's an 8-year-old girl, and all she did was lie about something simple that she didn't even lie herself. It was Lincoln, but still. Yeah. In this particular context, like, poor Lucy, man. Lori said it herself. Whoever that book belonged to would be the laughingstock of the house, and I couldn't let Lucy go through that, Lincoln said. She may seem emotionless, but she's really sensitive deep down. If she had to put up with that teasing, it would have been terrible. I agree. So I took the fall. I mean, I can handle your teasing, but you already laugh at my Ace Savvy costume, you poke fun at a lot of the things I like, so it's not like it would be anything I haven't heard before. Lincoln brought Lucy in for a hug, hoping to console his little sister. Aww. Aww, okay. Yeah, okay, I buy it. That's okay. You know what? Peak emotional moment. I don't regret anything. I'm Lucy's big brother, and I'm all of your guys' brother, and I'm more than happy to do what I can to keep you happy, even if it's a big burden on me. It didn't take long for many of the girls to feel like trash. The fact that they intimidated one of their own sisters to the point where their only brother felt like he had to protect said sister from them, it made them rethink so many things. Surely the sisters tease each other, but they all assumed it was in good fun. They never imagined one of them would be so frightened to endure something like that. Yeah, especially the girl who pretty much has a talent for frightening people. Good big brother vibes. Yeah, honestly, we don't get enough of that from Lincoln nowadays, which is honestly really sad. In canon, I mean. Here, obviously, they're nailing it. If this fanfic is clearly a Lynn trying to get Lincoln to be with her, frick no, I'm not going to deal with this type of shit. Yeah, no. Loudcest is cringe. Pass it on. You know what? Cringe is putting it too generously. Loudcest is an absolute cancer. Anywho. I don't want to kill... you know what? I'm not going to focus on that because I don't want to kill the positive vibes. I'm not going to lie, guys. Even though I read this like 2 years ago, reading it again, I'm definitely getting that feel-good vibe from reading this, for the most part. Lucy, we're really sorry. Wait, I skipped this paragraph. My bad. No, wait, no, I didn't. Luce, we're really sorry we made you feel that way, Luna said. We won't tease you about your book anymore. You don't have to hide it from us. If you want to read it out in the open, then go ahead, Luann said. Yeah, I'm worried too, Luce. Don't be afraid to be yourself. I mean, you've never judged me for playing in the mud as often as I do. I suppose I could see the appeal, and it's refreshing to know you can step out of your goth life and embrace the beauty in things, Lola said. Lenny picked Lucy up, hugging her tightly. I'm so sorry, baby sis. I would never think you're weird. Never in a million gazillion years. Thanks, Lenny. You're kind of crushing me, Lucy said, prompting Lenny to place her down. Sorry. Look, I'm glad you're all apologizing, but I'm not the one who needs it, Lucy said, gesturing to Lincoln. No, it's okay. I'm not holding any grudges, Lincoln reassured. You still deserve one anyway, dude. More than that, you deserve a ton of props. Taking the blame for something so embarrassing? That takes courage. Yeah, I'm really proud of you for helping Lucy like that, Lincoln. You really are the best brother. Not easy taking the blame for someone else, is it? Lola asked, having a similar experience. You're the man, Lincoln, Lana praised, the man with the plan. Lenny then picked up Lincoln for the same bone-crushing hug. I still love you, Link. Even if you did read girly comics, I would still love you. Lenny, need air, Lincoln said. Sorry, I think I'm getting stronger. Maybe it's the kale juice. Sure thing, Lenny, Lisa said, rolling her eyes a bit. As for you, big brother, while I personally don't care much for any of the emotions our sisters are handing out, I do admit, I respect your decision to stand up for your sister and Lucy. I hope anything negative I've said about your hobby wasn't taken to heart. I'm good, Lucy said. Honestly, I do feel better getting it off my chest. For the longest time, I felt guilty about what I did to Lincoln. I made that choice, Lucy, and I don't regret any of it. I just want you to be happy with who you are, Lincoln said. Aww. You know what? That is the right amount of sappy. That is the perfect amount of sappy for this franchise. I dig it. This got an in-sync off from the other sisters. Okay, see? Okay, it's not just me. Aside from Lori, even if she did find this cute, and from Lynn, who seemed taken back from this sudden change of tone. So what, that's it? Lynn asked. So everyone forgives Lucy all of a sudden. She lied and got Lincoln in trouble for nothing, so it's all good? Well, yeah. What are you supposed to do, hold a grudge? Luna said. You all hold grudges against me for stuff that I do. You still blame me for the bad luck fiasco thing. Okay, it says thing, but sometimes I like to change that to... sometimes I just like to use synonyms, guys. Is that weird? Pretty sure that's a bit more extreme than what Lucy did, Luna said. She only did it because of all of you, though. If I'm bad for calling it bad luck, then you're all bad for making Lucy feel like a freak, Lynn shouted. Lynn, can it? Yes, you have a point. Lucy did something bad, something Mom and Dad will find out about. I don't care if it was Lincoln's idea. You still lied about it, Lucy. Thank you, Lori. Finally, someone with can it, Lynn. You're in deep too. Mom's already mad at you for what you did with Stella. When she finds out what you did here, she's gonna be even madder. Maybe I can talk to Mom about getting a better roommate. I'm done with you, Lynn. Done with me? You try to humiliate me, all because of a petty argument that you started over nothing. I told you my reasons. I'm done with you, Lynn. Well, fine. You don't even have to move. I'll switch spots with Lincoln. Yeah, he can actually have a room now, see? Me being nice. See, me being a nice big sister and getting my little brother a room from sleeping in the backyard. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, guys. You could just scrap this whole plot line altogether. I do remember it. Something about Lincoln moving in with Lucy. I feel like you could just scrap this plot line from the writing and you wouldn't miss a thing. That's just me, though. No, it's not weird to use synonyms. Really? Not even on the spot as I'm reading it? Like, I don't know. Every time, like, I had to read, like back in high school and in lower grade schools, like, if I was reading off of a textbook, sometimes I would switch a word here and there, and people would stare at me, and, like, I don't know. It's just nice to have such an expansive vocabulary and be able to use it, more or less. Everyone should learn to let go of crutches. In this particular context, yeah. Lynn, I already forgave you for the bad luck thing, Lincoln said. I know, but they haven't. But don't worry. Soon they'll realize why I'm your favorite sister. Lynn then went inside her room and began tossing her stuff into a bag, packing things up to make the switch. Lincoln wasn't sure what to make of this, but for now, he figures he'll go along with it. I'll get my stuff. We'll sort this out later, when we're all level-headed, Lincoln said, heading to his room. Lori crossed her arms, sighing in annoyance. How did things get to this? I swear, this all started the moment Lincoln brought Stella home. If there was truly bad luck, I'd say Stella's the one who's cursed. Hey, leave Stella out of this. Don't say anything bad about her. Yeah, she didn't do anything wrong. You're just being paranoid. Watch your tone before I turn you both into pretzels. You've been threatening us with that since we were toddlers. Work on your creativity. Maybe lay off the pretzels, Larry. Larry? Oh my goodness. English, Seabass. God. Yeah, lay off the pretzels, Lori. You have enough salt as is. Get it? But seriously, stop being a jerk. Luann also made her way to the room, the other sisters following suit, leaving Lori to herself. Even Lenny had gone to Luna and Luann's room for the third night in a row. You know what? I guess in canon, Lori would just go... I guess if this was written in modern canon, Lori could just go back to her place, which is right next door. Whew. Honestly, the more I read this, the more I realize, with a couple tweaks here and there, like, that's the thing. Like I said time and again, fanfiction is really not my thing. Like, the only time I can bring myself to enjoy it is when you could easily pass off this writing as a good canonical episode. That's it. That's really my only criteria. If you can do that, then yeah. I like the fanfiction, I'll read it, I'll hear it out. But anything more than that, like crossovers and whatnot, like most of the time, it's really hard to win me over. Anyways. It's hard being the oldest, Lori said, heading into her room. I do it all the time when I read my stories or even comments online. Okay, it's not just me. It's not just some quirky habit that I developed. The night passed. Once again, Lincoln sharing his room with his sister Lucy. He didn't seem to want to discuss the incident further, which Lincoln understood. It was really awkward. All he cared about was making sure Lucy kept a positive mood. Or as positive as she could be. He would need to have a serious talk with Lynn soon, though. The next day, Lincoln sought out Stella in the lunchroom, arriving at the table where all his friends were, though no Stella in sight just yet. Howdy there, Link. How'd your date with Stella go? It wasn't a date. We just talked about some stuff, Lincoln said. Well, that's a relief, Rusty said, getting odd glares from the other four boys. What? Don't we all still secretly like her? I don't think any of you ever really, other than Lincoln, I don't think any of the other guys really ever liked her in the beginning, to be honest. I'll go off topic here. I went to a GameStop and a lot of people were talking about a free Pokemon. Yeah, apparently for Scarlet and Violet, they're distributing Shiny Koraidon and Miraidon, but for whatever reason, the codes are really limited, and apparently, according to some friends, they went to their local GameStop and supposedly they're supposed to be giving out these mons for free, but for whatever reason, GameStop is refusing to give them out. With some GameStops, are refusing to give them out with purchases. They're selling out too quickly. They're not giving them enough. Like, it's just... Yeah, it's a whole fiasco, and which is really saying something, because most of the time when they distribute legendaries at like GameStops and whatnot in the United States, it's never really a problem. Like back in the Gen 5 days, I did it with Meloetta, I did it with Keldeo, brought my DS, booted up a connection, and I got it just like that. And for good measure, I pre-ordered X and Y at the time. Wow, that really takes me back. Is this companionship allowed, family, or just companionship? Just companionship, Night Fury. That's pretty much the only one we're going to read on stream, because the rest of them, they are ridiculously inappropriate. I think I would get demonetized just by reading the first sentence. And also, like I said, I'm not a fan of Sid's mischaracterization throughout those whole storylines. Like, I like the idea, like, okay, I don't know what this says about me, but the idea of the idea of Lincoln and Stella being teen parents, it's believable, it's engaging, but at the same time, it's a little too awkward. It's an engaging read, at least the T-rated version. The M-rated version, it gets way too graphic with the details, to say the least. But the T-rated version, maybe I can read that on stream, but at the same time, I'm not a fan of half of the narrative. Like, half of the narrative is, for whatever reason, Sid falling in love with Ronnie Ann, and the other half is Lincoln and Stella accidentally getting knocked up. Like, I don't know how I feel about it, but all I know is it's very likely that I'm not going to read it on stream. Oh, so it's Companionship, the sequel to both Parenthood and... Okay, Night Fury, you're just mixing me up, man. Koraidon's design goes hard as heck. I don't blame them for being sold out. Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I picked Violet, but if I could go back, I'd probably choose Scarlet. Just cause, I don't know. Like, Scarlet just does a couple... I'm not saying it does things much differently than Violet, but I'll take Koraidon over Miraidon any day. Like, Sada, I like her... Like, the idea of a deadbeat dad... Okay, spoilers for Scarlet and Violet. Spoilers for a 3-year-old game. Like, the idea of a deadbeat dad, that's been done over and over again. But the idea of a deadbeat mom? Like, I like it better. So the fact that it's Sada's the final boss in Scarlet and Violet instead of Turo, and also the juxtaposition between Area Zero and all the dinosaur Pokemon, the Paradox Pokemon, like Scarlet just does things better. And yeah, I'll take Koraidon over Miraidon any day. But to be honest, for the most part, I have not touched Scarlet and Violet in like a year and a half, so honestly, I'm really indifferent to the idea of getting a shiny. Especially with how badly GameStop is handling it by the looks of things. Anyways. Okay, for a moment, I thought there was like an ant on my chin, but no, that's just my beard being itchy. Yeah, most of the past Paradox, I definitely like them a lot more than the future ones. Like, with the future ones, the shiny variants, they're all just silver. They're all just like a silver coloring. But with the past Paradox shinies, they all have variety. Will I need the Rexamon relationship? Again, Night Fury, another instance where I just don't like a lot of elements of the storyline. Like, spoiler alert, guys. Lincoln cheats on Stella, and Stella cheats on Lincoln. No, just don't. Just don't. Sid being mischaracterized as a pervert, like, there's just so much that either I just don't like it in general, or I can't even read it on stream without getting demonetized because it's just that inappropriate. So probably not Night Fury. If y'all want to read that on your own time, then just look up this story. The link is right there, guys. But as far as the stream is concerned, I think I'm only going to read the part 1, just because it's wrapped up nicely enough. I'm not going to spoil it for the sake of those that are reading along with me here right now, but it gives a conclusion. Like, this is the one... Like I said, I really like it when fanfiction could easily be passed off as a canonical episode, and this is the only instance where it applies, as far as this whole series is concerned. So yeah, I'm only going to be reading Companionship. Okay, is it just me? Is the music really quiet? It's really quiet. Alright. Rusty, give it a break. Just accept Stella as a friend. Yeah, besides at this point, only Lincoln has a real shot at her. Traitor, Rusty commented. Look, I'm not trying to win her over. She just really likes coming over. Okay, Lincoln, you don't have to lie to them. Like, that's the thing. Like, if this kind of issue was addressed, Like in modern canon of the Loud House? Like, how do the boys feel about Stella? Like, I'm willing to bet Lincoln's the only one who hasn't gotten over his crush on her. Meanwhile, the rest of them, I feel like they would be supportive in that regard. Except for maybe Rusty, which is clear enough here. Like, I feel like if Lincoln told the guys, I still like Stella, I want to tell her how I feel like most of them would just be supportive about it. Just because Clyde, he's got that whole dynamic with Chloe, which they never bothered with again. Like I said, Liam and Lynn, Zach is too distracted with his conspiracy theories, Rusty, he hits on any girl he talks to. Like, I don't know. Even in canon today, they could still make Stella can happen, but you know what? I'm not going to fixate on it. Because I've discussed about it enough. That content is gross. Yeah, it kind of is, Boo. Like, at the very least, there's a kid-friendly version, but even then, there's a lot of it I just don't like. Like, the whole subplot, the whole plot of Lincoln and Stella having a baby, it's engaging, but the other half of the story is Sid crushing on Ronnie Ann, and eventually Ronnie Ann, despite Sid being completely out of character, being a shallow, unapologetic pervert, for some reason Ronnie Ann falls for her. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Like, if it was just a story of Lincoln and Stella's pregnancy, I would definitely I'd be more than happy to read it on stream. But otherwise, no thank you. Just no. Yeah, Rusty is annoying most of the time, especially when it comes to girls. But alright. Look, Rusty, if it makes you feel any better, I don't think Stella wants to come by over anymore. Oh, I wouldn't say that, Clyde said. Huh? What do you mean, Clyde? Because I don't hate your sisters, Stella said. He turned around and saw Stella approaching the table. They're a little nuts, but I don't think I have it in me to hate them. It wouldn't be very friendly of me to do so. What happened recently? Rusty asked. You get into a fight with his sisters or something? It wasn't Lynn, right? She would mess you up. No, and I think it's best it stays that way, Stella said, with a slight scowl on her face. Look, I don't want to get into it. Can I please just have lunch with my friends? You're always welcome to, Lincoln said. Great, Stella said, sitting right next to Lincoln. Also, if you don't mind, can I stop by your house today? I want to talk to some of your sisters. Yeah, Boo, that's the thing I like about the T-rated version. It completely cuts all the bedroom action. That's the thing that's the one thing I can like about it. Also, if you don't mind, I'd like to stop by your house today. I want to talk to some of your sisters, namely Luann. Well, sure. You're always welcome, Lincoln said as Rusty began to grit his teeth. Curse you, Lincoln, Rusty said out loud, thinking he said it in his head, until he received a few angry stares and realized his blunder. Oops. Later on, as promised, Stella joined Lincoln on their walk home, passing the time through some small talk, including Lincoln talking about a crossover battle he's really into. I always thought the idea of Ace Savvy battling against Musclefish. Oh my gosh. Y'all remember Musclefish? Y'all remember when Lincoln, like in the early seasons of the show, Lincoln playing that platformer called Musclefish? Oh my gosh, what happened to that? I guess they just forgot about it too. I think Rusty's pretty funny. The most I remember him is Back in Black. I mean, to be fair, Back in Black wasn't really even about Rusty, more or less. Anyways, better than that. Why don't they just team up? Stella suggested. They'd be quite an unstoppable force if they did. Lincoln was about to argue his point when he realized there was nothing to argue, because he liked Stella's idea better. Actually, I'd like to see that movie instead. Hey, what if they start off as rivals and then maybe they work together? Why fight when you can be friends? Stella said. Totally, Lincoln said, approaching his house. Well, here we are. Well, do you think you'll be... Suddenly he was splashed with mud, knowing almost right away who it was. Dang it, Lana! Sorry, bro. You know I love me some mud. Lana said, sitting in a mud pile. Pretty cool, huh? Made it myself. Didn't Mom and Dad tell you to stop doing that? Lincoln asked, wiping his shirt. They just said not to make it too big and not to get mud in the house, Lana said. Or attract mud in the house. And that I had to take a bath right afterwards. Lame. Well, try not to get any mud on me, Lincoln said. Now I need a new shirt. Hey, what's the big deal? All your shirts are the same anyways. I love it when cartoons reference the fact that a character wears the same clothes every day. Lincoln lost most of his earlier interests. Well, he didn't lose them, they just took him away, more or less. I don't even know how someone can sit down and type out bedroom action with a straight face. Yeah. Some people, you can just tell how unfulfilling their lives are when this is what they do. Just right, you know what I mean, hopefully. Gotta change things up as the show goes on, like Chester and AJ getting Thanos snapped in Fairly Odd Parents. Did they straight up? Okay, I'm not too familiar with later seasons of Fairly Odd Parents, but they just straight up pretend they never existed? What about Tootie? I guess with okay, from what I remember, from the Chloe episodes I saw, it looks like Tootie and Trixie are just absent altogether. Even though Timmy canonically marries Tootie by the looks of it, so what the hell? What? Again, another case of a Nickelodeon show having a timeline that is just way too inconsistent for its own good. Oh my gosh, man. This reminded me of Salty K. Dan reacting to Minecraft fanfiction. I don't know a lot about Salty K. Dan, Citizen, but no, I'm not familiar with the realm of Minecraft fanfiction. Why the hell is there such a thing as Minecraft fanfiction? You know what? Don't answer that. It's rhetorical. I think Chester's voice actor said he was randomly told he was fired. What? Frankie Muniz or the one actor? You know what? Let's look into it. What about AJ, though? Jason Marsden. Let's see. Okay, this doesn't answer my question. Why am I not surprised that Reddit isn't actually a reliable source for information? Jason Marsden was not fired from his voice role as Chester McBadbat in The Fairly Odd Parents. Instead, the role was passed to another voice actor, and Marsden's departure was reportedly due to a desire to leave behind the role and its associated themes, not due to any firing. So, okay, assuming the AI isn't screwing with me, it looks like he just quit. There's an episode called Finding Emo. How did I just say that with a straight face? In season 9, where Timmy gets a new love interest for a plot, but like they forgot they had Trixie. Yeah, I've seen the design of the girl. Wasn't her name like Missy or something? Did we ever see her again after that? Like, I do remember that episode from back in the day, but that's about it. Mr. Chloe was uploading some clips of the new episodes of The Loud House, and unfortunately, Gavin came back on that episode? Really? So, did they break up or did they not? Okay, now I'm just confused, guys. Now I'm just confused. You know what? Let's just focus on what we came for. Hey, all your shirts are the same anyways, Lana said. Well, all of our clothes are. Lori never even changes her shorts. She finally realized that Stella was with Lincoln. Oh, hi Stella! We missed you yesterday. Yeah, sorry I couldn't be here. By the time me and Lincoln were done talking, it was getting late and I had to go home. Stella said, partial truth. Well, stay here as long as you want. We're always happy to have you. Aw, you're so sweet, Lana. Thank you. Stella said, bending over and rubbing Lana's head. Getting a little mud on her head, she wiped it on the grass and stood back up. Well, I should go inside and talk with Luann and maybe some of your other sisters. You ought to hurry. She's about to leave for her gig, Lana said. Oh, right. I gotta hurry, Stella said, following Lincoln inside the house. Once inside, Lynn was on the couch with her friend Margot watching a baseball game, cheering loudly for their home team. They've got this in the bag. Think they'll win the pennant? Margot asked. Why wouldn't they? They're on fire, Lynn said. She then noticed Lincoln and Stella coming inside. Hey, Link. Hey, Stells. What's good? Stella clenched her fist and she started muttering, Stop calling me Stells. Lincoln comforted her with a hand on her shoulder. Just ignore it. Talking to her is like talking to a wall. Oh, hey Margot. Hey Link, is this your girlfriend? Just a friend. Lynn leaned in to speak to her friend. He's just really shy. Soon they'll be all over each other. How adorable, Margot lightly teased. You know we can hear you, Lincoln said, somewhat deadpanned. A little surprised Mom and Dad are letting you watch this after what you did. I don't think Lori told him yet, but to be honest, did I do anything that bad? All I did was tell everyone what Lucy did. If anything, she'll be the one in trouble, Lynn said. Stella's eyes widened in shock. Wait, what happened? No, it's nothing. I just exposed Lucy as the one who clogged the toilet, clearing my little brother's name like a good sister. Wow, what a hero. Stella rolled her eyes in annoyance. Huh, see? She gets it, Lynn said, not picking up on the sarcasm. Anyways, we'd love to stay in chat, but we need to talk to Luann. Quickly, Lincoln said. Well, you ought to get going. I think Lori's driving her and Lisa soon, and at least when Darcy gets here, Lynn said. Right. Enjoy your game, I guess. Later, Margot. See you, lover boy, Margot said, getting some laughs out of her and Lynn while further annoying Lincoln and Stella. The two had gone upstairs where Stella... Where'd the music go? Okay, the fact that I had to open the tab for the music to continue. Oh my goodness. Anyways. The two had gone upstairs where Stella happened to notice something odd. Hey, isn't that Lily? Lincoln looked up to see his sister was walking around unsupervised and without her diaper. Ugh, dang it, Lily! Huh, I guess she's quite the free spirit, Stella said, slightly chuckling at the situation. I kinda wish she'd grow out of it, Lincoln said, grabbing his naked sister by her hand. Oh gosh, that sounds so wrong out of context. Oh gosh. Come on, Lily, let's find your diaper. I'll be back, Stella. As Lincoln led Lily into her shared room with Lisa, Stella just waited near the stairs, finding it adorable that even Lily has her own quirk, though a really awkward one. As she waited, she noticed Lucy passing by, writing in her journal. Oh, hi Lucy. This startled Lucy. Oh, hi Stella. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you, Stella said. It's fine, I'm not used to the one being spooked though. It's kind of the other way around most of the time. I can imagine, Stella said, remembering her first night in the Loud House, having been spooked by the goth girl. Hey, I heard about the Princess Pony thing, and I know it was really embarrassing for you. Are you okay? Are you holding up? I'm okay. Lincoln was there for me, like he always is, Lucy said. Well, that's good to know. Good to have at least one sibling that's actively sensitive to your feelings, Stella said. Unless... were there others? No, it was just Lincoln. He's always the one sibling who understands me on a deep level. He is the light of my darkness, to who I'm... Okay, that even for Lucy, that is way too sappy. I need to leave so you can walk the dog, make dinner, and hang out with your siblings? Alright, boo. Thank you for stopping by. I'll see you... You know, I might still be around later, but... if not, then I'll see you next week. Thanks for stopping by, boo. I'm fine. Lincoln... Oh, wait, I already read that. Aw, that's so sweet and poetic. It makes sense. I know you write poetry. I'm just speaking from the heart. Or at least, where my heart would be if I had one. You know what? Speaking of dinner, I'm getting kind of hungry. It's 4 o'clock over here. I should probably... Should I? Should I read one chapter, end the stream, go get dinner, and then come back? I don't know. You know what? I really need to get into the habit of just getting my lunch and my dinner before stream starts, because I really... The runtime for these streams, it's a little unpredictable. But alright, boo. Goodbye. Is it weird to say that I'm gonna miss having you around on stream? That's weird. Yeah, that is weird. You know what? I'm gonna shut up. But thanks for stopping by, boo. Like, I don't know. As far as some of you guys are concerned, like, all the people that have been loyal to this channel since the first stream, like, I don't know. I'm a little attached to you guys. A little bit. Not too much, hopefully. But alright. Aw. That's so sweet. And wait, I already read that. Ugh. I'm getting way too distracted. I'm just speaking from the heart. Or at least, where my heart would be if I had one, Lucy said. Ha 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 ha. She's a goth. Get it, guys? She's a goth. She has no heart. You know what? It's an innocent joke. I shouldn't be making too much of it. Stella raised her eyebrow. Okay? Stella figured this was the type of goth talk she didn't want to get into it. Well, I'm glad it was resolved. You have the right to like what you like. And to always be yourself. Stella, Lucy said. Be honest. Did you know the whole time? Stella's eyes widened in surprise. Well, if you knew, then it's okay. I take it Lincoln probably told you, Lucy said. That's my fault. I made him tell me, but he made me swear not to tell anyone else or to laugh at you. Luna just brought it up, and I just kept nagging him to tell me the whole story. I hope you haven't lost your trust in him. No, he didn't tell my sisters, and I trust you as well. And he told you in good faith. I'm not gonna hold it against you or my brother. He's done so much to help me. It's the least I could do for him. I couldn't even repay his kindness. He doesn't care about that, he just cares about you. I know. That's why it hurts to see him get hurt, because each time it happens, it's just another chance blown for me to repay his kindness. I've been really unfair to him on occasion. Like the bad luck thing? Stella asked, getting a look of surprise from Lucy. Oh, I made Lincoln tell me about that too. It's kind of my way of helping him. The more he gets off his chest, the less stressed out he is, and he can focus on being a better brother. Because the one thing he constantly tells me is how much he loves you and your sisters. Even when you're all at odds with each other, I admire Lincoln for that. He's so caring. I mean, he has his faults, he seems to overreact to things, and he makes a big deal out of nothing sometimes, and he's a little petty, but the important thing to know is that everyone has something negative that they probably wish they didn't have. Even you? Lucy asked. Even me. Honestly, it feels like I try too hard to be nice to people, and it gives them the wrong idea. You should have seen Lincoln when I met him and his friends. I didn't tell them that I wasn't too vocal about what I wanted, and they were all under the impression that I had a crush on one of them. Okay, that still bothers me, because that's really not her fault. That's really not her fault whatsoever. Like, that kind of conclusion just made no sense, but you know what? We're not here for that right now. Got some boba tea? You know what, John? Speaking of boba tea, I kind of want to go... Once I'm done here, I think I'm going to end stream after this one chapter, guys. I don't know. What do you guys think? How long have I been streaming for, now that I think about it? Almost 2 hours. I think I'm gonna end the chat. I think I'm gonna end stream after this chapter, but I don't know. We'll see. And then I'll go get some dinner. Then again, it's not even 4 o'clock over here. Should I be getting... I don't know. I kind of want to finish the chapter, end stream, order some takeout, go pick it up. It's only like a 10-minute walk, guys. And then come back and read another chapter. But I don't know. Would you guys be down for that? What do you... Let me know. Let me know. I was the second person when you started your first stream. Good times. Yeah, I think the first comment was from Mr. Chloe. Although, I haven't seen Mr. Chloe recently on streams. Yeah, you, John, Boo, Nitro. Who else was there? Who else was there on the first stream ever? You know what? I still got the VOD. I could probably check for myself, but... You know what? I digress. Maybe that's why I like hearing Lincoln express himself. Maybe that way I can learn from the way he does it and express my feelings better. Maybe then I could have avoided any conflict with Lincoln's friends. Knowing Lincoln, I'm sure he did everything he could to get you to notice him, Lucy said. Yeah, you should have seen her the day he met her. I wish someone would bring that up with her, but you know what? For what it's worth. I'm in Pixel... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Am I in a Pixel Drinks video again? Hang on. Oh boy. Okay, on one hand, guys, I do appreciate the free publicity, but at the same time, please, give me a heads up. Please. Give me a heads up if you're gonna do something like this. Freaky channels? How am I a freaky channel? Okay, I need to see this. How am I a freaky channel? Like, come on. You said 1440.
There's no way this nigga watched my videos. ICC Bass, 1K. Okay, some views.
All the time I've full writing and whatnot. Okay, it's basically just ripped it off the VOD, by the looks of it.
Oh yeah, let me get that. Let me get that. ICC Bass, shout out to you. Everyone go follow ICC Bass. Now we're getting...
It's basically what he said on stream, but you know what? You know what? He's republishing it. You can't hate it. When an influencer that big, you can't hate it. It's just more publicity.
Better. As I get down, the channels are getting better. Hold on. There's hope for A subs? Super Mario Galaxy Politics.
What the fuck am I looking at? Oops, we did some war crimes and Mario wearing... What is this? Okay, I kind of want to look into it. I'm not going to lie, but it'll have to wait. Okay, yeah. It's basically just a retread of what he did on stream yesterday. Or the day... Or Friday, I think. But alright, okay. Nothing too crazy. But thanks for letting me know, Mirko. Thanks for letting me know. Honestly, the fact that I made it, like that stream was like what? How long was that stream now that I think about it? That's a crazy ass thumbnail, by the way. Yeah, that stream was like 4 hours long. He condensed it into 21 minutes, and the fact that I made the cut, like, I don't know. What does that say about me? I wonder if anyone in the comments has something to say about me. Hang on. Okay, that's not a comment. Not a comment. Okay. Doesn't seem like anything is saying something about me, but let's see. I'm glad my channel ain't on there. Oh god, not the photo, blah blah blah. I'm curious. Did not think I would ever make it to this kind of scale. Did not think my channel will ever make it to this kind of scale, to be honest, guys. Okay, so far, nothing to say about me, but to be fair, the video got uploaded like an hour ago, so you gotta give it some time. But still though, the fact that I'm in a video called reacting to my viewers as freaky channels, but you know what? He spoke positively about me, for the most part, so... On one hand, I want to be insulted by the title, but at the same time, I don't think he was referring to me specifically in that context, so... Now the comments are all brain rotted? Yeah, it shows. Just want to see if anyone has anything to say about me. Like, if someone actually looked into my channel and saw what I had to say, because some of my takes are a little controversial. I will say that, guys. I'm not gonna deny that. But I don't know. Like, there's a reason I pause my comments in my Loud House videos, because some of y'all have bad takes. It's brain rot. Y'all have bad takes. Well, you know what? The Loud House fandom, for the most part, in comment sections, half the time the comments are brain rot. But the other half, it's either genuine contributions to discussion, or they're just lousy accusations that, frankly, I've had enough of. But anyways, his titles seem to be on the funny side every time. Are they? Let's see. Okay, it's not the first time he's used the word freaky, so... You know what? I'm just gonna be glad he didn't put me in the thumbnail. Crazy, weirdest, freaky, exposing. Okay, that checks out. Yeah, the patterns check out. Okay. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, I can take it as a compliment. In its entirety, I can take it as a compliment. Thanks for letting me know, Mirko. But alright. Okay, I can definitely close this. I'll look into it later. No, wait, I already did look into it. I don't know, I kind of just want to read the comments at a later time, see if anyone says anything about me. But anyways. I know you're not interested, but I really do wish you and Lincoln would date. I can say without a doubt that you're perfect for him. You balance each other out so well, Lucy said. Hey, I've gotten that before, Stella said, but I'm really worried about the idea of having a boyfriend. Yeah, at 11 years old, I don't blame her. Lincoln would make it easy. He's not demanding. He shares your type. He shares your type of takes. Like, he doesn't like how LGBT community glazes any representation instead of focusing on writing. Okay. Good to know, Mirko. Really good to know. Hopefully, for whatever it might be worth, his audience shares the sentiment more or less. Cause yeah, I got enough of a target on my back more or less just because of what I said. When your show is made for 7-year-olds, don't be surprised if some of the comments are made by 7-year-olds. Okay. Let's look at it a little more rhetorically. Who the hell is giving 7-year-olds internet access? Public forums with public people? Who is giving all these minors, for lack of a better term, easy access to communicating with strangers? Genuine question. Because that is just really bad and ridiculously common parenting. What do I think about Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball, the original, never got to see a lot of it. Dragon Ball Z? I watched a lot of it growing up. I appreciate it for what it is, but I'm not going to pretend it's the perfect anime by any means. Dragon Ball Super, it was after my time, and I don't have access to Adult Swim, so never got to watch it, localized or whatever, in any capacity. But yeah, Dragon Ball Z, I still enjoy it. I still enjoy the Buu saga, I still enjoy the Cell saga, the Frieza saga, just the Z sagas. Like, I like it, I know the characters, I understand the lore more or less. Not necessarily my favorite though. I know Dragon Ball in general is huge in Mexico, guys. Like, y'all have no idea. Goku is a cultural icon in this country. But at the same time, for the most part, it's not really my thing. His community always fights him. He takes the arguments to a huge group Discord call where they can debate against him one-on-one. He sounds like he's looking for trouble, but you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do for content, I guess. Be prepared to be disappointed by the parents of today. Like, that's what worries me. If I ever meet that special someone, if I ever fall in love, if I ever get married and have kids, I'm gonna have to take a lot of precautions. They sound easy on paper, but for all I know, they might be difficult. Like, I really gotta put in the effort. Like, keep in mind, nowadays, if I had a kid nowadays, with the way my work schedule is running, 10 hours every weekday, I feel like I just wouldn't have enough time for my kid and whatnot. I feel like I wouldn't be able to put him or her in the right direction. Know what I mean? Like, I don't know. If I were to have a kid nowadays, I feel like I'm a little worried about screwing up or just not having enough time for him or her. Yeah, dude, I'm not giving... all of my kids, any kids I might have, they are not having internet access without my supervision or in general until they're old enough. Until they're at least, what? I want to say 13 or 14. I don't know. 16, maybe 18 if I'm pushing it. I don't know. At 18, it feels... Then again, I didn't have my first cell phone until I was 18, so... Maybe it's for the best. I don't know. What do you guys think? What's a good age to give a kid a tablet or a cell phone or internet access in general? Because I'm not a pediatric expert by any means. Anyways. I know you're not interested, but I really wish you and Lincoln would date. I can say without a doubt that you're perfect for him. You balance each other out so well, Lucy said. Huh. I've actually gotten that before, though I'm really worried about the idea of having a boyfriend. I'm sure Lincoln would make it easy for you. He's not demanding. He just wants a girl he can give affection to. Aw, you know what? Same, Lincoln. So if that's really him, then same. He once sort of dated my friend Haiku, and she said he was really nice to be around. Stella rubbed her head. Well, maybe you have a point, but it's still kind of... Suddenly an explosion was heard in Lisa's room, to the surprise of Stella, though not so much Lucy. Are you out of your mind, Lisa? They heard Lincoln shout. Hey, Lily's alright. You shielded her with your body, they heard Lisa say. Besides, the explosion was minimal. The worst that could have happened is your arm was replaced by a tentacle of sorts. That's not the... Forget it. Shouldn't you be getting ready for the party? Oh, you're right. Darcy will be here too, Lisa said, then shoved Lincoln and Lily out of the room. Give me 2 minutes. She shut the door behind her, much to Lincoln's annoyance. For a genius, she does really dumb things sometimes, Lincoln said, picking up his baby sister and carrying her over to Stella and Lucy. Hey. Stella could see that Lincoln's shirt was now charred, in addition to the mud. I'm guessing you need to change? Tell me about it. Can you hold Lily for a moment? If she takes off her diaper, come get me immediately. It's a pain in the neck to put it back on her, especially if she randomly starts peeing. Okay, you did not need that detail, my guy. 16, 14, 15. Probably for me, I started 13 or 14. Yeah, pretty much like halfway through the teenage years, more or less. Like, yeah. On top of minimal internet access, like if it's for homework or whatever, yeah, it's going to be under my watch. In terms of the media they watch, at least when they're young, like say before they turn 12 and whatnot. Like, I think for the most part, my kids are just going to be watching the same stuff I grew up with, assuming I have access to it. Either streaming platforms, the horde of DVDs that I have. Stuff like this is why physical media is so important. Just so you have access to shows that are actually worth respecting. Because honestly, guys, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Animation just isn't the same anymore nowadays, for the most part. An old, out-of-service tablet with the internet shut off could be fine enough for your 9-year-old. If they know self-control or trying to teach them that. Otherwise, no. That's the thing, though. Back when I was a kid, I had no self-control when it came to video games. Like, if you gave me access to a GameCube, I just would never stop, and I really wish my parents taught me better in that regard, but it's a good thing I eventually formed my own discipline. Like, if I'm tired of a game, or if I told myself, okay, just for 1 hour, I'll only play for 1 hour. Technically, things like Legos will expand it. Okay. That's true, Nitro. That's true. But the thing is, Legos are so freaking expensive. Like that Zelda bundle that they're releasing in a couple months, that costs like what? $500? Like I really wish there were some cheap accessible sets or just a just a bag with a bunch of Legos in it from a random set just to encourage some creativity. I don't know. If I ever had kids, I don't know how it's gonna go, but I need to plan it out more or less. But then again, as long as I'm still single, maybe I shouldn't be thinking about this. I don't know. Like I'm well into my 20s, maybe I should be considering it. All I know is I definitely do want to have kids someday and get married and all that typical sappy romantic jazz. I don't know. That's just me though. Anyways. Where did I leave off? Okay, here we go. That grossed Stella out for a bit, but it's to be expected when it comes to infants. Sure thing. Lincoln handed Lily over to Stella and made his way towards his room. Luann, having poked her head out of her room, "Hey Lincoln, having a blast over there?" Lincoln shot Luann a dirty glare before shutting his door behind him, muttering about how frustrating some of his sisters could be. Luann chuckled a bit, then realized Stella was standing there holding her baby sister. "Oh, Stella, you're here." Hey Luann. Yeah, I'm back. I was kind of hoping to talk to you, actually. Huh? Really? Well, come on in. I can take Lily and wait for Lincoln. You can go talk to Stella, Lucy said, holding her arms out. Okay. Stella said, then turned her attention to Lily. Be good for your sister now. Her response was a giggle from the baby, Stella giggling in return. Aw, you're so adorable. See, even Stella loves how adorable Lily is. Even now after the time skip, Lily is still adorable. Heck, if this happened in the modern canon, I feel like Lily would say something along the lines of, Lincoln really like you, Stella. Or something along those lines. Okay, I do a terrible Lily impression, but that's just... I'm competing with Grey Delisle, man. Like, that woman has talent. Anyways. Not the $1,000 Death Star Wheel of Cheese. Yeah, the Lego Death Star is like $1,000. Like, nah. They're gonna start small. I'll pay for what I can, but they're gonna start small when it comes to Legos. I definitely do want to get them into it if I can. Get them anything where they can think outside the box? Yeah, just nudge them in the right direction. Like, put some Legos in front of them and see what they do with it. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to believe I'm educated and intelligent enough to where my kids would inherit some of what I'm capable of. At least I want to believe that. We'll see. Like, I don't know. I guess it just comes down to who their mother is. But alright. She kissed Lily on her forehead and then handed her over to Lucy. I'll be right back. I can wait, Lucy said. Stella walked to Luann's room, noticing the absence of another sister. So is Luna not here? She went to her girlfriend's house to practice with her band. You could have just said she's rehearsing with her band. I don't know why you had to mention Sam there, but alright. Freeing me up to test out some of my party supplies and pranks, Luann said, gesturing to her props, some having just been used. Though that explosion from a moment ago startled me, and it accidentally made me startled, so okay, you could cut this out and you wouldn't change anything. So, I'm a little surprised to see you here. Well, I've been here almost every day. Is it really that surprising? Stella asked. Kind of. I know Lincoln told you about the whole bad luck thing, Luann said. Oh good, I wasn't sure how to tell you that I found out. Makes this a little less awkward, Stella said. Honestly, I thought for sure you would hate me after that, Luann admitted. That actually worried me. I thought you wouldn't want to see me again. I'll admit, I'm a little disappointed that it happened. I mean, you're Lincoln's big sister. You're supposed to protect him, but maybe I shouldn't hold a grudge over that. Lincoln told me he's not mad at you for what happened, and he blames himself for lying to you and your sisters. And if he forgave you, then maybe I can do that too. Maybe there's no reason I shouldn't give you a fair chance. Yeah, I guess I lucked out on that. No pun intended, Luna said. Luann said. Luna's not here. Doy. I don't know what came over me. He was just really convincing, and I guess we all got paranoid. You'd be amazed how freaked out our family gets over little things. Well, he did warn me about how chaotic this family was, so maybe I shouldn't be surprised, Stella said. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna adjust myself because I gotta practice good posture. Good God, Stella said. Seriously though, I just wanted to get this off my chest because there's no way I could have not told you. But now that we know, we can go back to being friends. Unless there's something else you want to tell me? Well... Stella took Luann's hand in hers, looking the comedian straight in the eyes. Look, if you have something you want to tell me, I'm all ears. I'm not going to judge Luann. You're my friend, and I care about you for better or worse. Luann started to feel relieved. She was so grateful Stella was understanding of something so major. This is the first of Lincoln's friends since Clyde that Luann felt a level of trust for. Any other of Lincoln's friends would have shunned her. If it was Ronnie Ann, she was almost certain the tomboy would wreak vengeance on them for what they did to her friend / potential boyfriend. Well, maybe a few things. See, Luann heard the doorbell ring. Oh, Darcy must be here. She went to grab her things. Sorry, but I have to go. I have a gig to get to. Oh, right. I was supposed to help you. I'd offer you to, but I didn't prepare for a second person. When I found out Lincoln told you about this, I assumed you wouldn't want to come, Luann said. It's okay. Maybe next time, Stella said. You bet. Well, I guess I should head home. I know Lincoln's going with you. Hey, you're more than welcome to stay here with my sisters, Luann said. No offense, but I don't want to be around Lynn without Lincoln, Stella said. Right, she's gonna be a pain in the butt. She really wants you two to end up together. About that. Can I be honest about something? Stella asked. Sure. What's up? I think... Stella gulped and blurted out her thoughts. I think I want to ask Lincoln out on a date. Luann stood there in surprise, then a big, wide smile stretched onto her face. Really? I've been thinking about it the last couple of days. I had fun with him watching the movie, at the arcade, in the park, and just... I'm really happy spending time with him lately, and I think I want to give him a chance. Maybe we can truly be boyfriend and girlfriend, so I just want to take the first small step. Oh, Stella, I'm so happy to hear that, Luann said, briefly hugging the girl. Well, maybe now's not the best time. It might keep him distracted, but come to the park tomorrow. She grabbed her cell phone and texted her roommate. I'll get Luna to help us. We'll get you ready. Thanks. To be honest, I'm a little nervous about doing this. You don't have to be. Lincoln might be surprised, but he's definitely going to say yes. You know how he is, and he's very easygoing and the perfect date for a girl to have. You'll do fine, Luann said. Thanks. It means a lot. Good. Let's get downstairs. So you can say goodbye, Luann said, taking Stella with her. At the front door, Lisa had already opened the door to let in her friend. Greetings, Darcy. Hi, Lisa. Ready for the party? Darcy asked. I suppose I am. Not one for trivial stuff like this, but I do quite enjoy the candied sweets they serve at these social gatherings. Where's your sister, the funny one? Right here, Luann said, putting on a clown wig. Hope you're ready for the party, Luann said. Why am I saying Luann said in Luann's voice? Luann then put on a clown nose. Who knows what surprise you'll find? Honk honk. Hehe, you're a funny clown. Lincoln had finally changed his clothes and went downstairs as well with Lucy. Alright, Darcy's here. We just gotta wait for Lori. Hi, Lincoln. It's nice to see you, Darcy said, waving bashfully. You too, Darcy, Lincoln said. Uh-oh, Stella's got Okay, can we... No. Can we just... Okay, the trope of a kid crushing on someone noticeably older than them, it's been done to death. We talked about this earlier. And secondly, can we stop pretending? Can we stop shipping Lincoln with every girl in this show's history? Like, that is such a bad habit in the fandom, and this is just encouraging it. Can we just know? Oh my gosh. The Lisa voice is getting to me. Is it good? Is it a good Lisa voice? Like, I don't know. I'm really not good at doing the lisp and whatnot, but I work with what I got, more or less. Fight for your man, girl, Margot said. Stella and Lincoln glared at the two jocks, Luann also looking slightly irritated. Thankfully, the awkwardness didn't have a chance to grow when Lori came downstairs. Alright, let's... She noticed Stella. Oh, you're here too? Oh, I was just leaving, Stella said, then turned to Lincoln. See you tomorrow. See ya. Sorry your visit was so short today. It's fine. I got what I came for. Stella said, then turned to the other sisters. Bye, guys. Have fun at the party. We will. Let's go. The kids wasted no time following Lori into Vanzilla, the older girl wasting no time backing the car out, though not without a slight glare to Stella in the process. Stella took some note of that, wondering what Lori could be so unhappy about. She can't think about that now. She had a date to get ready for, and that was the only thing on her mind. She passed by Lana, waving bye to the girl as she walked home, the big question lurking on her mind. Tomorrow couldn't come soon enough for her, yet at the same time, it was something she was so nervous doing. Really? Okay, that does bother me a little bit. We already know Lincoln likes Stella, but the idea of Stella being the one nervous to ask him out? I don't know, maybe she's under the impression that she doesn't like him anymore, but has the story really given a reason for that? Doesn't seem like it. Start them with playing GBA Pokemon games? Okay, maybe even the DS ones, Pixel. Because I think Black 2 and White 2 is the best Pokemon game ever. At least in my opinion. Or at the very least, it's the general consensus. Like, I don't know. If y'all know who Shofu is, he surveyed his viewers to say what was the best Pokemon game, and the top answer was Black 2 and White 2. So, I think I'm going to start my kids with... If I ever have kids, if I'm gonna introduce them to Pokemon, it's going to be with Unova, with Gen 5. Good thing Firebird and Leaf Green are right there too. Yeah, okay, that is true. I could as easily emulate the Gen 3 games, so my kids could play it. So I don't need... I still have my old Game Boy Advance with the cartridges and whatnot, but if something ever happens to it, I got backups. Make your kid learn the hard way by making them catch Paris and finding out what's 4 times weakness to fire and flying. Why you gotta do it like that, man? I used Parasect in my own run and somehow survived. Blastoise, Parasect, Primeape, Arbok, Marowak. When was the last time? What am I, Elmer Fudd? When was the last time I played Gen 1? Like, I remember playing it in an emulator a while back. My team was Venusaur, Starmie. I remember my Lullaby the Venusaur, and I named him Lullaby because y'all remember that Pikachu short that aired before the Mewtwo movie? Like Pikachu's First Vacation, and Bulbasaur just calmed down Togepi by singing him a lullaby, and honestly, that's the reason I named mine Lullaby. There was Marco the Starmie. I named him after Marco from Star vs. Forces of Evil because, hello, Star. There was Brigitte the Rhydon. It was a female Rhydon, and I played Overwatch at the time, so I named him after the support tank we got at the time. Brigitte the Rhydon. And I forgot the rest of my team, to be honest. But it was definitely a very memorable playthrough for me. No kidding, you're actually doing this? Yeah, Cop Brown, the title is not bait, and I've done this on more than one occasion. Why are you so surprised? My voice impressions are good? Thank you, Vixel. I try. The moment I clicked on this video, I just knew something cringe would happen. Well, I mean, did you read the title, my guy? If you want to do a better list, try to softly bite down on your tongue with both sets of teeth and breathe out to speak. But don't bite. Okay, Erica, those are very convoluted instructions. I'm heading out so that I can have my dinner. Hope you enjoy yourself in the story. I'll try to be back ASAP. Well, Night Fury, by the time you're back, I think I'm going to end the stream as soon as I'm done reading this chapter, but we'll see. I agree, Black and White 2 are in Unova. Unova was slandered on release, and only recently the fandom sees how good the game is. Hey, I've loved them since the beginning, so don't think I'm hopping on the bandwagon or anything like that. But the game has such bad reception that Game Freak didn't bring back the mechanics. Yeah, unfortunate. I think to this day, the Unova games are the worst selling in the franchise, even though they're the best games in the franchise. Like, people really need to be a little more open-minded. That's all I can really say. Well, Cop Brown, let me ask you this. Am I cringe so far? Genuine question. You don't have to answer, but do I seem like a cringe individual? Is there any plans on a new Loud House video? Tiny bit, but it's still in the drafts. It's still in the drafts. I want to make a video talking about the taunting hour because throughout the entirety of my worst episodes video, somehow it eluded my grasp. So I do want to make at least like a 10-minute or 15-minute video talking about the taunting hour, but I haven't written the script whatsoever. It's just been on my mind, more or less. This fanfiction is way better than the majority you find on the website. That's a lot of competition because... Not really competition because the Loud House category on fanfiction.net, it is just cluttered with so much slop, Nitro. You have no idea, my guy. Like, this is definitely a hidden gem. It's got its problems in the narrative, but in comparison to all that, it is definitely a hidden gem. But alright, I don't want to get too sidetracked. What happens when you can't catch past Pokemon in Black and White 1 until post-game? And a lot of the Polish people, like in Black and White 2, aren't in Black and White 1? Polish? There's Polish people in Unova, Erica? Okay, that's probably a typo. Okay, but I do need you to correct it for me to understand what you're saying. Anyways. Tomorrow couldn't come soon enough for her, yet at the same time, it was something she was so nervous doing. It affected her on the walk home, when she went to bed that night, the following morning, even all day at school the following day. She could barely talk to Lincoln at lunch, knowing she was about to ask the most important question of her life later. Perhaps an exaggeration, but to her it was still a big deal. Yeah, it always is, no matter how old you are. Finally, at the Loud House later that day, she had left school, telling Lincoln she would be at his house later, but she had something to do first. She walked over to the park where she met with Luna and Stella, right at the front gate, the rocker girl looking particularly happy, but not compared to the wide smile on Luann. Ready to do this? Sort of. I mean, how do you prepare for something like this? I get it. I got nervous the first time. Okay, this again. Nope, that still makes no fucking sense. Luna getting nervous asking Sam out still makes no fucking sense. Can we just gloss over it? Luann was a wreck when it came to Benny. Was she though? She kind of was. At least her reasoning makes sense, but moving on. But we'll get you through this. Stuff like this requires deep breathing and relaxation techniques. You're right. Okay. Do you know any? Stella asked. You're kidding? Okay, do y'all hear the neighbor? Okay, the neighbor kid is crying, and I can hear it, and I'm willing to bet the mic is picking it up. Oh, polished, Erica. Oh, polish. No. Oh my god. Did I just misread polish as Polish? Wasn't this a plot element in the... Hold on. There was this one episode of The Big Bang Theory. Hold on, let me show you guys, and hopefully I don't get copyrighted. Where they're playing Pictionary, and the word is Polish, but Sheldon mistakes it as Polish. Hold on. Hold on, there is no way I just made the same blunder from a sitcom. No way. Hold on. Oh my god. Hold on. Let me skip ahead a little.
Hand, nail, polish? Yeah!
Can't hear anything from the background yet? Really? Why didn't you say anything until now? Okay, you should be able to now, but let me double check.
No! The word is Polish. See, look. Polish sausage. The model of the solar system developed by Nicholas Copernicus, a Polish astronomer.
There is no way. Oh my god. You know what? Nowadays, I hold little to no respect for the Big Bang Theory as a whole for the most part. It gets a couple laughs out of me, but most of the episodes are really... I'd rather erase them from my memory. But the fact that I pretty much made the same mistake he did, that's still... Oh, goodness. Oh, you mean the crying... Okay, you mean the crying kid. Okay, thank you, Nitro. Thank goodness. Thank goodness the mic isn't picking it up, because I really can't do anything about it. Other than maybe closing my window, but... I've explained my reasoning for that. And there's also the airplane that just flew by. I don't know if y'all hear that, but I have noticed the mic picking it up here and there. Yeah, just for context, guys, I live near an airport, so every now and again, an airplane flies over my house, and I gotta hear it every now and again. It's not too loud, it's not too noisy, it's nothing bad. But at the same time, the property value goes down, which means, but then again, I don't own this place. I don't know, man. But alright. Let's get back to it, shall we? I might go off topic, Icy. I think you might like... Okay. John, maybe in my off time, I'll look into it. You just gotta keep reminding me. Maybe during my work breaks, I'll look it up on Netflix, because I do take my cell phone to work, and during my breaks, I am allowed to use Netflix. Not during work hours, of course, just during my breaks. It's how I got into K-pop Demon Hunters, as a matter of fact. Like, people kept praising this film, like it was actually really good, and I was like, sure, I'll give it a try. The title and the idea is so stupid, but I actually ended up really liking K-pop Demon Hunters. And I kind of want to make a video on it, as a matter of fact, guys. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's because there's a bit of delay between us, or maybe just me, sending a message and it's actually showing up on stream. Yeah, I think that depends partially on my connection and partially on yours, Erica, more or less. I remember that scene flash. Yeah, it's from like what, season 6? But yeah, for the most part, I used to really enjoy The Big Bang Theory, but as I got older, I really grew to resent it more and more. Like, Sheldon's character development is just way too uncompelling, even for a guy who's supposedly too quirky or on the spectrum. Like, they just don't handle it well enough from a storytelling standpoint. But I'm not gonna dwell on that right now. Anyways, you're right. So, you know any relaxation techniques? Stella asked. You kidding? We're the Louds. We don't do relaxed, Luna said, getting a surprised look from Stella. Wait, and why even mention it if I'm not gonna learn it? You are, just not from us. Stella, this is Sam and Benny. The two made their way over to the young girl, who was very surprised to see them. So you're the one after Lincoln's heart, are you? Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Luna told me all about you. She says you're nice, and you have good taste in music. That's a stretch. Luna introduced her to her music, but that's... Stella didn't really say anything. Okay, that line's a little flimsy. Why is it that nobody can write Sam in a relatively compelling manner? Probably because the character as a whole is uncompelling, but hey, what do I know? That's just me. Oh my gosh, John, as much as I love the movie, but Soda Pop is annoying. It's so overplayed. Like, I'm talking Let It Go levels of overplayed. It's just, it's a really annoying song. I'm not going to deny that it's catchy, but it has gotten so annoying as of late. But then I remembered. In the story, it's a song literally made by demons in an effort to end the world. So I guess in a way, I'm supposed to hate it. I'm supposed to hate Soda Pop. So it's a win-win, I guess. My favorite character from the Loud House? Like, I don't know, the Loud siblings as a whole and all the side characters, I feel like it should be in two different categories. It wouldn't be fair to say I have a favorite overall. But out of the Loud sisters, I'd say Lola. But out of the side characters, I probably would say Stella. I don't know. I need to think about it a little more. I think stream delay is there just in case something shows up and the streamer can quickly turn off the stream so they can avoid a strike. Probably. Well, this fanfiction is being true to the original. Sam is nothing in the original, so yeah, exactly. Honestly, I don't know. You know what? Let me finish reading before I give my take on it. Luann's told me all about you as well, Benny said. The way she talked, I almost thought she was gonna dump me for you. Benny, don't even humor that, my boy. You do not deserve that. Stella nervously chuckled. I would never take someone from them. I know, I'm just joking. Alright, so you need help talking to Lincoln, right? Has Benny ever even met Lincoln? Now that I think about it? I guess they've never really spoken one-on-one. Yeah, I mean, we're already friends, but... Stella couldn't really explain it well. We get it, don't worry. We'll help you. Lincoln's a great guy. It won't be too... I mean, what would Sam know? She's never spoken to Lincoln, in canon. Come with us. We'll give you tips on how to date a member of the Lau family, Benny said, gesturing Stella over with Sam, leaving Luna and Luann to themselves. Thinks this'll work? Of course! They're perfect for each other. Yeah, they are. I really want Lincoln to be happy here. I'm glad he's gonna get that chance. Same. We know Lincoln makes the perfect boyfriend, and he's got everything this girl needs. He's understanding, he's always thinking of others, and he understands girls much better than most boys do. He's not perfect, but he's close. Yeah, I just hope everything turns out alright. Have confidence, sis, and don't stop believing. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. If the nostalgia critic, yeah. I don't think Doug is ever going to tackle this series, but if he actually did the research, yeah, he would. This would drive him more insane than the Bat credit card. If you know what I'm talking about, Cop, then, oh my gosh, Doug. Like, poor guy, he is already in his 40s. I feel like this kind of show would definitely push him over the edge. And I don't mean that in the best of ways. But alright. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feet. Okay, I'm pushing myself. Stella's got this, Luna said. Nothing's gonna go wrong. Yeah, Luann said with a nervous chuckle, then looked aside. I hope not. Time passed. Soon, Luna and Luann started making their way home with Stella. Okay, what did Sam and Benny even do here? They just taught her how to relax? I don't know, it's too vague, and y'all already know how I feel about Sam. I feel like you could just cut this moment, and you wouldn't miss a thing. I think a better way to showcase some of Stella's emotional preparation would just be having Luna and Luann hang out with her, pick her up from after school. Wait, does Luna have a driver's license? They just rendezvous with her at some point in Royal Woods, and they make her way to the Loud House together. Or maybe, I don't know, Stella picking a different outfit for when she's about to ask out Lincoln, or maybe, I don't know, Stella putting on the bow from the day she met him just as a symbolic gesture? I don't know, man. This whole segment with Sam and Benny, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it feels so pointless. But that's just me, though. I love Lola. She makes any episode that much more enjoyable. Almost any episode, yeah. They existed, and Stella got the memo on how to relax. I guess it's not really. There's really no details for them to clarify it. Yeah, you could just cut this, and you wouldn't miss a thing. To be honest, like again, maybe just Luna and Luann giving Stella, stopping by Stella's house and telling her, maybe helping her pick an outfit. Maybe Lenny could join them on that. I don't know. This definitely could have been executed a little better, but hey, it's not too problematic. It's just a little pointless. But all right. Time passed. Soon, Luna and Luann started making their way home with Stella, having gotten a lot of prep and practice from Sam and Benny. Did she though? Anyways, the two teens had to go home, but they wished Stella all the luck she needed. Ready for this, Stella? Luna asked. I wish I could say I was, but I'm still nervous, Stella said. It's alright. It's okay to be a little nervous. Just have faith in what Sam and Ben— Okay, can we stop putting so much stock on something that we didn't even get to see, please? Anyways, yeah, I'll try, Stella said, walking up the hallway. Don't worry too much, Luna said. Everything's gonna be just fine. Just like that, a potential wrench in their plans revealed itself. Oh no, it can't be, Luann said. Who's she? Stella asked. Standing inside, talking with Lincoln was his previous female best friend, Ronnie Ann Santiago. Dun dun dun. Okay, that was unnecessary. Lincoln was the first to notice the girls. Oh, Stella, you made it. I see you were with Luna and Luann. More girl talk? Yeah, something like that, Stella said. Who is... Stella, so good to see you, Lori said, making her way downstairs, along with Bobby, right behind them Carlota, who seemed to have a smug smile on her face. Standing at the top of the stairs were the other sisters who were keenly watching, worried about how this confrontation would go. Needless to say, none of them knew about Bobby coming over with his cousin, his sister, and some other random girl. Lynn seemed the most worried. Her hopes of seeing Stella hook up with Lincoln had now had a bump in the road. Lori, what's going on, dude? Oh, didn't I tell you? Bobby's here for the weekend. A little something we planned since Lincoln couldn't come to Great Lakes last week, Lori said. Yeah, little bro missed my baby sister, so we came up with a compromise, Bobby said. Sure did, Sid said, making her way out of the kitchen with a tray of snacks. Boy, do Bobby and Lori have plans for us this weekend. Luna gestured to Sid. Who's she? Oh, that's my best friend Sid, Ronnie Ann said. Sid, that's Luna and Luann. The rock star and the funny girl, right? Sweet! What about her? Sid said, then turned to Stella. Yeah, Lincoln, introduce us, Ronnie Ann said. Oh, right. Stella, that's Lori's boyfriend Bobby, gesturing to the teen boy, his cousin Carlota, Sid, who I just met for the first time myself. Actually, in canon, he already met her, but you know what? Again, this was written around the time of season 4. Speaking of insane, have I heard that Doug Walker has chronic fatigue a couple days ago? He put it a bit. When did he get diagnosed? Just judging from the time, I didn't get to watch it. Just judging from the title alone, it seemed like he already had it, but damn. Yeah, I do feel bad about him. Next, it's going to say, then Benny taught Lincoln how to pay his taxes and bills to prepare him for his... Like, yeah. Like, Ben... What? Okay, it doesn't surprise me that they're passing off Sam as some sort of Mary Sue, but Benny? Leave my boy out of this, man. Like, you don't gotta glaze him like this. Benny is already a compelling character. Can't say the same for Sam, though. I will say that. Okay, in canon, like I said, in canon, Lincoln already met Sid, and this is Ronnie Ann. Ronnie Ann, everyone? This is my new best friend, Stella. Hi, Stella. Nice to meet you, Ronnie Ann said, barely smiling. Yeah, hi. The moment that Luna, Luann, and potentially a few other sisters worried about the most was finally happening. Ronnie Ann was back, and this could either go really well for Stella, or it could end really badly. Wow, what a cliffhanger. Okay, yeah, I am immersed. I am more or less invested, which is something you would never catch me saying about a freaking fanfiction. See, it's that easy. Just write something, good writing, and something that could easily pass off as a canonical episode. Is that so hard? But alright, guys. We are, what? Almost 3 hours into the stream? I want to say 3 hours. Okay, 7 minutes. So, we'll save the next chapter for next time. For now, let's just hang out with chat. Let's see what you guys have to say. Still, though, you know what? I kind of want to keep reading, but the fact of the matter is, it took us 3 hours to finish a whole chapter. Although, to be fair, I got a little too distracted with chat, but that's the point of streaming, man. Interacting with chat, building connections and whatnot. But still, though, it's so... I'm invested, man. Okay, I already know how it ends. I read this 2 years ago, but still, though. But alright, guys. Night Fury, we just finished a chapter. Welcome back. Just gonna hang out with chat for a bit, and then I'm gonna end the stream. Just to go get dinner and whatnot. Because it's Sunday. Actually, it's only 4:30. Usually I end streams at around 7, but... And again, do I got anything better going on? It's just getting dinner and calling it a day. I don't know. Do you guys want me to read the next chapter right now? It's a nice little chill space for 3 hours. Thank you, Erica. I try. Like, the background music, I try to make sure it's relatively relaxing. I try to keep my voice at a minimum. I take every measure so people can just stay here and relax, more or less. Doug Walker had chronic fatigue for 2 years, but he's doing well. It hasn't been affecting him that much, but he did say the symptoms are unpredictable. Yeah, I'll bet. I wish him the best, though. But yeah, he is a... Like, honestly, guys, Nostalgia Critic is... He's an inspiration to me, more or less. Like, I started watching him in my early college years. I saw, like, basically, his first review that I saw of him was his review of The Last Airbender. Like, that's really... Y'all can thank this video for the reason we're standing here today. Like, his review of The Last Airbender is the reason we're standing here today. The reason I made my Loud House videos, the reason I make videos in general, critiquing animation and whatnot, it's because of his review of The Last Airbender. It's the reason we're standing here today. All of us, all the viewers, all the friends I've made, I kind of owe it to him. And his review of The Last Airbender, to be honest. Like, back when I saw it, when did it, okay, I don't know when it originally aired, but I remember seeing it in 2017. Like, I don't know, it has been... Like, to think that he, of all people... This is from 2015. Okay, never mind. I am way off in the timeline, but still, though. This guy is a genuine inspiration to me. I wish him the best. I hope it's not... Whatever he's going through, I hope he's okay. Go get some food, chill, and come back. Incoming landlord who will blame you for the loud neighbors? Nah. Even he knows that the neighbors are kind of bitches. But it's technically another building, so he can't do anything about them. Unless they're actually being noisy in the middle of the night, which they have been. And it's genuinely obnoxious. If I want to, go get some food, chill, and come back. I kind of do, John. I kind of do. I think I'm going to leave the chat. See you next Saturday. All right, Night Fury. Thank you for... I'm assuming you're implying you're going to be lurking. So, guys, I think the plan is end the stream, go pick up dinner, Like, it should only take about 20 minutes, hopefully. I'm just gonna go to the local Chinese place, order some noodles and a cup of boba tea, and I'll make my way home. Because I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm really craving boba tea. So, I'm gonna end stream, come back, we'll read another chapter, and then we'll call it. In the meantime, my laptop can charge, which is basically my second monitor, so you know what? It's due anyways. Watch some Tucci and his reaction videos. Does he have more? You know what? Yeah, I kind of like that, John. I kind of like that. So, but all right, the Chinese place closes at 7, so you know what? I can hold off on that a little. Like, I don't know, guys. I'd rather keep reading companionship when most people haven't left, more or less. Let's see. What else does Tunji have regarding the Loud House? I was about to say Loud House. It's my bad for the boba tea. John, don't blame yourself. I've just been... You put the idea in my head, but I'm still craving it. Okay, we did see the painful decline. Do I really need to know more about how bad the really loud house is? We've talked about this time and again. But I don't know. What did he have to say about the movie? If you decide to read another chapter, I might come back. Guys, I'm so conflicted. Some of you want to read another chapter. Some of you want to watch a Tunchi video with me. I'm conflicted, guys. The writers of... Okay, you know what? I'm just going to reach out to distract myself and run away from my problems. The writers of the show look like SpongeBob in the procrastination episode, where he spent hours writing the fancy the with how they write these characters and the relationships. Yeah. It can be as fancy as you want it to be. It's still just a the. It's still nothing. But alright, guys. You know, I'm going to flip a coin. Heads, we read another chapter. Heads, we go with the original plan. Go get dinner and read another chapter later. Tails, we read a Tunchi video and we leave it at that. Spin the wheel. You know what? I like the spinning the wheel better than the... But then again, it's only 2 options. Spinning the wheel doesn't really do much. But you know what? I think the visual. For the sake of the audience, for the sake of the chat, I think a visual is better. Let's see. I only need 2 options. Fine, I'll disable my ad block. Thank you very much. How many chapters are left? I think only 3 more to go. Yeah, we've come a long way, guys. We have come a long way. Like the first chapter we read, that was like what, 2 months ago? A month and a half ago? We can reach a happy medium and watch Subway Surfers for the next few hours. There we go. Alright, okay. Dinner and chapter. Or Tunchi and then dinner. Alright, it's only 2 entries. I could just as easily flip a coin, but you guys may as well see it for yourselves. Here we go. Have I played Sonic Racing Crossworlds? I haven't, actually. Like, I don't know. I've never been too crazy about the Sonic universe or Sega in general, so it's not really my thing. Tunchi and dinner. You know what? Let's make it 2 out of 3. Keep spinning, keep spinning. Okay. Okay, Tunchi and dinner wins. Alright. But we gotta make this quick. But I don't know. What do you... You know what? Maybe I should have just hosted a poll. I don't know, guys. I'm so conflicted. I want to do both, but I don't have enough time for both. Subway Surfers at the bottom right corner and Family Guy. Stop. Pixel, stop. I do not encourage slop. I do not encourage brain rot slop. Thank you very much. My content tries to be dignified in some capacity. But alright, guys. Let me ask chat what they want. Do y'all want to watch a Tunchi video or read another chapter? What do you guys think? I usually do both, but I don't have the time for it. Also, I'm kind of hungry. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't eaten since... Yeah, I haven't eaten since 11 o'clock. A poll might be the best. Can I conduct a poll on YouTube? I don't know. Does YouTube have the option for that? I guess you do have to be monetized, but I haven't filled out the application yet because I'm not in it for the money, at least for now. I can just conduct a straw poll and put the link in chat. Let's see. If I find something else Loud House related, will I check it out? Probably, Tails. Depends. I just got a really big backlog as of right now. The last 3 chapters of Companionship, another Tunchi video. I also said I had to watch his season 2 review of the Owl House. I also said I would watch that. Wait, can't it just make a poll without making an account? Thank you. Okay. Which? Obviously multiple choice. Tunchi or fanfic chapter. And also, I have work tomorrow, guys, so I can't just hold this off for later. Allow selection of multiple options? No. Require participant names? I mean, there's not that many of you in chat, so 1 vote per IP address? Yes. Use a CAPTCHA? No. Alright, did I do this right? It's been a while since I made a Stripe poll, to be honest, guys. Let me see if it works. Let me just go to my chat real quick. I'm surprised the new Nicktoons game that came out recently did include the Loud House. What, that mobile game? Really? Has it? Doesn't seem like it has. But alright, okay, if I did this right, that should be the poll. Alright, poll's in chat, guys. You know what? I may as well spam it just so people actually notice it. What are my thoughts on the Nostalgia Critics kits? I mean, they are low budget and a little... I feel like they're just there to stall time, but at the same time, some of them are pretty insightful and pretty good, make for pretty good commentary. Like in his review of The Emperor's New Groove. Like at the time, yeah, that film was basically the same as Gen 5 of Pokemon. More or less, it tries a little too hard and people kind of hate it. But nowadays, people love The Emperor's New Groove, more or less. Like, I don't know. Sometimes his skits are hit or miss. At least for me. But alright. What happens if I refresh this? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna cast my vote. Okay, so far... Okay, I'm gonna flip a coin for my vote, because like I said, guys, I'm really conflicted. Heads, we go Tunchi. Tails, we go fanfic. I swear, if you guys make this a tie, you will never hear the end of it from me. It's heads. Alright, so... Hello? Why is my vote not being cast? Okay, there it is. Yep. 4 and 2. People want to watch a Tunchi video over me. Over the reading. Okay. I think I could work with that, more or less. You know what? Let's give it a few more minutes, because there's 9 of you in chat, and there's only 5 votes, if you don't count mine. So, give it a little... Berthamise Jackson heads up. Sometimes his mic peaks. You know what? Let's look into it, Tails, while we wait for the results. I probably shouldn't have closed that poll, but... Am I typing this right? Am I spelling this correctly? Okay, Tails, what does this have to do with the Loud House? Assuming I'm on the right channel. Okay, am I on the right channel? Okay, I don't know what's going on here, Tails. But alright. How's the poll doing? Let me see. Pretty sure I already voted on my laptop. Okay, 6-2. Alright, we're watching a Tunchi video, guys. The question is, which one, though? Do y'all want the Owl House video? Do y'all want the... I don't know, it's really... You know what? It should more or less be up to me. Imagine you click on your stream and then stream in the stream and the stream and a lot of yeah, streamception. Yeah, I've seen it. It's actually kind of fun. Uh, you know, I remember seeing some of his talk about the Casa Grandes, but I genuinely don't remember any of it. So, and this is pretty much going to take up the rest of the stream. So, yeah, why not? Let's see what he has to say about the Casa Grandes. I feel like I'm more or less going to agree with it, but let's see.
Think I'm exaggerating? They gave the show a spin-off. I'm not trying to be funny here.
Okay, just to be sure, guys, let me double check the audio and whatnot. Okay, everything good? Y'all want the really loud house one? You were? The man is just a creep? Oh, that's who you're talking about? Has anyone actually covered it? Okay, you know what? I'll look into it later, Tails. Let me just make sure the audio levels are fine.
It is absolutely
Disturbing the peace. Look into my eyes. Now tell me the things you love and you can behind my... Okay. I'm sorry. That's a banger, guys. Like, I know Tunchi loves Persona music, and I do too. And this is no different. Anyways. We're watching The Loud House's Failed Spinoff by Cartoonchi. But alright.
I am never touching this franchise again. Yeah, about that.
Power of K-pop, Mom. It's real.
You see why it was hard for me to get into K-pop Demon Hunters? I think it's partially owed to the show. As much as I like Sid, her obsession with K-pop is a little out of left field, uncompelling, and just cringe in general, man. Anyways,
Friends, I
look at that. 20 seconds in and I'm already agreeing with Tucci's sentiments. Like, dude, I've played Persona, I listen to the music, and I've seen playthroughs of Persona 5. That's about the extent of my knowledge.
haven't formally acknowledged.
But yeah, the music is really catchy.
I had a few too many sips of the mental health juice before coming to the shocking realization that making one video per week and living off of chicken noodles might not be a healthy lifestyle. Nevertheless, I'm back and feel I'm finally ready to return to the Loud House, the cash cow
Oh boy.
masquerading as a dead horse that I refuse to stop beating. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I've made an absolutely disgusting amount of money talking about this series.
Bro. Yeah, a couple of years ago, this show was definitely paying your bills, homie.
I could afford Nando's twice last week. Not that the ads over here in the UK make me want to go there.
Sometimes I forget that he's British, but then I realize I should have noticed from his accent.
Also, the casual racism in the comments section.
Wait, what?
Go there. Also, the casual racism.
At least Nando's just openly knows their target demographic. Of course they do. It's all chicken. Damn. Okay.
In the comments section. What was
I did not even know Nando's existed until now, but alright. Sure.
Again. Ah, right. The Loud House. So far, I've covered the original series, at least everything that was out at the time of me making that video. The Netflix movie with musical segments that I believe are intended for deaf people.
Damn. I mean, he's not wrong. Most of the songs in the movie, straight up, I think the only one I liked was the first one, and it's not even sung by one of the characters.
The live-action Christmas movie that made me issue a death threat to a fictional child.
Hold on. Show me that again.
The live-action Christmas movie that made me issue a death threat to a
I hope Lincoln... Oh my god, dude.
fictional child. And the first few episodes of the live-action series, which is getting a second season, by the way.
And got cancelled, thank god.
As opposed to the producers being put on a watch list. Also, there's a Halloween movie coming.
And it sucks just as much.
I might talk about that, I'm not sure.
Don't.
Today's topic
Don't.
is
He never did.
for a
Thank
while,
goodness.
I think. The Loud House, a while back, got so popular despite long running past the point of being good, also inadvertently making Amphibia a worse show. Yes, I'm serious about
How? Hey, let me read this. Marcy being a musical prodigy is something I hope we can bring blah blah blah. Oh, it's a subreddit thread. It's a subreddit Q&A. It's a Reddit Q&A with Matt Braley, the creator of it. Maybe Disney... Okay, let's see. Marcy being a musical prodigy is something I hope we can bring back. We will do our best to make stuff available, but never before those episodes air. The pilot really deserves its own discussion, but the only thing I miss is how grimy and mystical that version of Amphibia seemed. In development, I got explicit notes that the studio was no longer interested in adventure or magic, so we tried to tilt away from that stuff a bit, or at least saved it for later. We would love to get something like this made. I will do what I can on this in the end, but it's important that fans make their desires known publicly. Maybe Disney was worried it would be too similar to the Owl House. Oh, it hadn't even been pitched to Disney when we were dealing with this note. It had more to do with the Loud House being successful, ironically. Wait, I'm genuinely confused. What did Loud House being successful have anything to do with it? If you care to explain, excuse me. Disney probably wanted the show to be more like the Loud House. Companies like Disney are like game publishers, reluctant to invest in something risky or... Oh my god. So the Loud House's success straight up spurred Disney into changing development of Amphibia. Oh my... Wow. So the Loud House was so big that it straight up had Disney nervous. Wow. I guess in a way.
It was granted an entire spin-off show focusing on a recurring...
Ain't no way the song sounds like that. You know what, Nitro? Let's look into it for a little bit. Just because. Hold on. Loud House movie. I remember her name was Morag. Let's see. Is that really how it went down? I'm not gonna play all of it because copyright, but just that one shot. Oh my god, it is actually that bad, Nitro. It is actually that bad. Holy shit. Oh, whew. Yeah, I made the right call. Maybe I don't remember enough about it, but I made the right call. Yeah, all the songs suck except for the first one. Good god.
Character of the original series. Okay, that's the only Cleveland show joke I make in this video, I swear.
Yeah, honestly, it feels a little old. It feels a little cliche to compare this to the Cleveland show. Like, I get it.
Lord knows everyone ran that into the ground before I did. The Casa Grande.
Yeah, and this video was published in like what, 2022? And yeah, even then it felt repetitive. Like, I get it. Casa Grande, this is just a Cleveland show. 2023. Over 2 years ago.
This focuses on Ronnie Ann, the previous bully turned love interest of Lincoln Loud, who for some reason brings Mr. Enter an inch closer to an aneurysm.
I don't blame him.
Which is a message that's not only wrong, but dangerous.
Bro, it's a bad message, but put the fedora down. We're talking about the Loud House. Despite this being a spin-off of Nickelodeon's most popular cartoon, a quick look at the ratings shows a horrifying reality.
Yep. They bombed.
Christ. So after 3 seasons, the show was unceremoniously cancelled, likely leaving only 2 fans of the show on suicide watch. I found it very funny. People have asked me here and there to review this show, but I've always been a bit hesitant. I'm aware...
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, guys, maybe if I'm feeling frisky enough, I'll make like a worst episodes of the Casa Grandes list, but honestly, is it even worth the trouble after all this time, all these years after it got canceled? I don't know. People keep saying, oh, when are you going to make a tier list for Casa Grandes episodes? When are you going to make a worst episode of the Casa Grandes? Like, I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Of the fact that I milked this franchise a lot, and I did ultimately intend for my video on the live-action series to be the last one I ever made. Hell, on my planned video list, I literally have the Casa Grandes video marked as a break in case of emergency.
Yeah.
Taking a month off of YouTube for your mental health, and then returning when you're attending...
Hi, Boo. We're just watching a Toonchi video, and then I'm going to call it. But it's good to have you back.
...university and have to pay your own bills, like, you know how it is. It's just business. Lord business. In any case, I enjoy making fun...
Lego Movie is goated, by the way. Go watch the Lego Movie. All these years later, still one of the best animated films I've ever seen. It got snubbed at the Oscars. I'm still mad about it. Anyways.
Of this franchise and a 9-year-old kid who's been calling me slurs for 2 years now, so this should be a relatively fun little beating session. Like Yakuza. That's a fun series.
Oh, it's that kind of beating. Okay.
You tell what my current hyperfixation is. With that out of the way, let's milk.
The majority of the episodes will be in the worst episodes video. Yeah. 95% of the time, the episodes of the show, nothing is going to be above... Like, y'all know how I rate my shows, the episodes in tier lists. Solid, neat, meh, yikes, and dog water. Nothing, pretty much virtually nothing is going to make it higher than meh. I'll tell you guys that much. I'm having some nachos. Well, Boot, can you share? You want to share with the class, Boot? No, I'm kidding.
Into the show itself, let's go over some context. Let me brush up on my Loud House lore just a second.
That shouldn't take long.
Jesus Christ, I need to get laid. Running
Oh my god. Okay, Tucci's really funny sometimes.
was introduced in the Loud House as early as season 1 and was originally a generic faceless bully who frequently picked on and humiliated Lincoln at school. The episode focused on the Loud siblings running on the assumption that Lincoln's bully is a guy and sticking up for him so much to the point that they drag a random kid into the house and gang up on him, which is perfectly legal.
It's not. That's straight up kidnapping.
Apparently. Laurie is is canonically 18, she should count her days. But then the second Lincoln reveals his bully is a girl, they all start squawking about how a girl bullying you means she's definitely into you. Or
That's terrible messaging. I agree. I know Mr. Enter made a big fuss about it, but that is terrible messaging. It didn't work for Arnold and Helga. It didn't work here. Seriously, guys, I cannot emphasize one thing I will give the Casagrandes credit for. It emphasized that Ronnie Ann doesn't like Lincoln romantically anymore. It adds up in the narrative, and that's that. But of course, that doesn't stop all the shippers from being so consistently obnoxious. But anyways.
Something like that. Which as much as I think people tend to...
I wish I could. It has bacon on it. Oh my gosh, boot. Okay, I know I said I put my gluttony days behind me, but goddamn, girl. Every time you talk about what you're eating or what you're cooking, you're making me hungry, girl. Like the pierogi, now the nachos, and girl. And also, you're a chef, girl.
Get overdramatic about this series showing certain things to children. This is still a pretty gross message, and even worse, that ended up being true after the scene where Lincoln gets punched in the face.
Yeah. That's a good edit.
After this episode, Lincoln's bully is finally revealed as Ronnie, and it proceeds to make frequent physical appearances in many future episodes as they develop a relationship. And
It's only like 3 or 4, but yeah.
by the way, I'd just like to add that Ronnie's older brother is Bobby, who's dating Lincoln's older sister Lori, and the whole episode Lori and Bobby's relationship is wavering until they see their younger siblings kiss together and suddenly decide they're back together again.
Fuck. No. Yeah. Yeah.
Holy crap, am I happy Chris Savino got fired?
Yeah. Yeah. What? The parallels between this episode and Savino's behavior, never mind the fact that it's a bad episode with a bad premise. It just has so much in common with his behavior, and I talked about this in my current state video. Like, yeah, I can see why the writers definitely went in a different direction with Ronnie Ann, and in that particular context, it's for the best. Because good God, man.
Even if not everything has changed positively.
Ugh.
This is a real tweet, by the way, and later into the show's second season, Ronnie Ann is a...
Wait, show me that tweet again. The goth e-boy. No. Nickelodeon, what are you doing? What year is this tweet from? 2019. No, even back then, that's fucking cringe. What are we doing?
This is a real tweet, by the way, and later in the show's second season, Ronnie Ann is effectively written out of the show, as they dedicate an entire episode
in a surprisingly compelling manner. Like I've talked about this before.
Introducing us to the titular Casagrandes, Ronnie Ann and Bobby's extended family, and basically acting as a backdoor pilot to the series, which we will get to in a moment, and ending moving in.
It's a damn shame. Like, Relative Chaos is a genuinely good episode, but the fact that it ultimately just served as a backdoor pilot for a really underwhelming spin-off for the most part, like, it says a lot. Nickelodeon called an 11-year-old boy, and yeah, there's that. They burned the kitchen with that writing. True.
The two would still appear in the Loud House, but a lot less than usual. That was until the Loud House season 4, where the season opens with 9 entire episodes not dedicated to the
My goodness.
focus of the show,
I don't know who just subscribed, and for some reason I can't see the alert, but thank you for subscribing, wherever you are.
being the Loud family, but instead being full-length episodes about Ronnie Ann and her
Also, another subscriber, thank you.
family in order to promote the upcoming spin-off, the Casagrandes. First,
Yeah.
hijacking the original show just to promote a spin-off.
Yeah, taking up like 20% of another show's season just to promote your own show, it just tells me you don't have faith in it. And you know what? I see why. I've talked about it before. This show, it just exists because representation. That's it.
For 9 entire episodes at the start of a new season, no less, is not a way to get in people.
I mean, to be fair, Friended is still a really fun episode, but the rest of them, you could take them or leave them. Like I said before, it's ironic that the best Casagrandes episode is technically not even a Casagrandes episode. Like, irony.
Especially with how this played out too. Like, this intro was such a debate.
Hey, it's me, Ronnie Ann. If you like the Louds, come meet my family.
No, thank you.
And like, even by Loud House's frankly abysmal standards at this point, these episodes were really distinctly because they were boring. And they were boring because...
Okay, I will disagree. I thought Friended was fine. The rest of them, yeah, they were kind of meh.
Well, the cast was boring. Say what you want about the Loud House. I'm showing a lot of restraint, I promise.
Hold on, play that again.
Say what you want about the Loud House. I'm showing a lot of restraint, I promise.
Yeah, I can respect that, man. This show has just way too many stigmas. They never talk towards the camera anymore. Every now and again, They did it once in season 8 in one of the few episodes that's actually good. I don't know about season 9 though. There's been a few occasions where they still talk to the camera. Lincoln still does, but I don't know about... Okay, Ronnie Yang got canceled and the rest... Yeah, they really don't do it very often anymore, Boot.
For a kid show of this many characters, it's amazing how each of them have such strong and well-defined personalities to the point where you can easily remember the names of every loud sibling after watching a few episodes. But
Yeah. Surprisingly easy for me as well.
the Casagrandes on paper working under the same premise as the Loud House, but instead focusing more on the cast culture as Mexican Americans, each of the characters lacks a personality that
I say this as a native Mexican. It was also fucking boring.
anywhere close to being as strong as the Louds. And I'm talking this extensively about it before we've even gotten to the main show yet, because it's a clear sign of why the Casagrandes was doomed to fail on a conceptual level. The strongest part about Loud House and the main draw of it was watching a quote-unquote normal boy navigate through a family of 10 sisters with far more extreme personalities, habits, interests, and mannerisms. And while there are differences in the cast of the Casagrandes, very few of the characters stand out on their own and are just not as enjoyable to watch as the Loud siblings.
Oh my god, the whole Abuela's obsession with the guy played by George Lopez, I hated it. I hated it.
Things are during the brief moments post season 1 where the Loud House decides to be good all of a sudden, and that's where
Okay, Nitro, the only one I can say it's actually worse than the Loud House is Steven Universe. But at the very least, Steven Universe has some decent episodes.
ends for the Casagrandes activity in the Loud House, at least to my knowledge, because I don't want to watch the extra 2 seasons the show has had since I made my first video. I am likely going to give myself a hernia doing that. Let's finally get into the main topic of the video, the Casagrandes.
Oh boy.
Again.
Technically.
Show this time. Now,
Technically.
Come to this conclusion by now. The Casagrandes is an incredibly similar show to the Loud House, but I'd like to offer a
Way too similar.
The Casagrandes is not similar to the Loud House. It's actually the exact same show, except somehow f***ing worse. Being agonizing to sit through. Now, I am a 19-year-old man now, so obviously I may not be the best to consult on this, but I can still watch an episode of Loud House Season 1 with my little sister, and we can both still find some enjoyment out of it. And even Loud House's later seasons still retains some of what made the show so charming in the first place. It's at its absolute worst. I think
Yeah. Crazy that he referred to Kings of the Con. Like, yeah, I agree. It's a bad episode. Not my least favorite. There's a couple more ahead of it, but to be honest, I'm genuinely surprised at the amount of people that say Kings of the Con is their least favorite episode. I will say that.
the most glaring flaw of the show is its mere concept. The Casagrandes focuses on a single character navigating through a large family. Do you see the problem?
Yeah,
Actually,
it's basically the exact same thing.
with a spin-off property that focuses on a different set of characters to the main show, it's expected for there to be a decent amount of differences in how the show is structured and written, often establishing itself pretty distinctly to the point where you can look at it and see that the two shows are rather different, even if at the
To a fault.
end of the day you can look at them and go, okay, so this is one of the worst things ever made by a human. This is because there's not much of a point of doing a spin-off if your intent is
Planet
to
Sheen was a
do the
mistake.
show twice. Not just because it's creatively bankrupt, yeah, I know you like that, shut up, but because audiences will very quickly lose interest in a spin-off if they're getting the same show they've been watching for years, but just worse. When you have
Or they'll just settle for slop, which is unfortunately true. Otherwise, this show's ratings would be even worse than what they already are.
two cartoons running at the same time, filling the exact same niche concept, viewers, especially kids, are naturally going to be more drawn to the show they've been familiar with for years when nothing new is being offered. Conceptually, this show is already a disaster, but this leads into many of the reasons why the Casagrandes ends up being significantly worse than the Loud House. Casagrandes' main problem, outside of its mere disappointing birth, is the fact that each of the main characters are personality vacuums.
Exactly. Like, the one thing the Casagrandes you can tell it prides itself on, and it definitely shows in certain episodes, is look how much diversity we have. But okay, did you bother giving them personalities? Not really.
Disappointing
For the
birth
most
is the
part,
fact that each
like, yeah. Samir, little to no personality. Nikki, honestly, it's a genuine miracle that I remember some of these names. Little to no personality. But hey, at least I know she's Swedish. Casey, little to no personality. But hey, at least I know he's Cuban. The Casagrande, like, I could go on, man. I really could.
Each of the main characters are personality vacuums. Again, to go further with my point from a second ago, Loud House got popular in the first place because of the appeal of its characters and how they were all completely distinct from one another personality-wise.
Yeah.
And visually, their individual quirks are easy to spot, and their attires complement their personalities greatly by associating each character with a specific color and vastly different clothes. You look at Luna and Luann for 5 seconds.
I gotta go to the bathroom, guys. I'll be right back. Pixel, don't even try it, my guy. Yeah, okay. Sorry for the sudden intermission, guys. It's just I ordered dinner earlier and it's already here. So here we are. All right. Let's see. Where did we leave off? Right. Kill the music and let's get back to it, shall we? You know what? Let's re-chat a little bit before I get back into it. I have to give Steven Universe props on their songs. They got some bangers. Yeah. Honestly, Here Comes a Thought. Still really catchy. Is it just me or is Casa Grande's animation a bit off? It's a little too fast for a few seconds behind. It doesn't have the same budget. Probably not the same budget. Can't pinpoint exactly what's wrong with it, but yeah, there's no doubt that it probably had a much smaller budget than the Loud House. Only the Ethernet cable because we are thieves with class. I guess. But keep in mind, guys, my Ethernet cable, it goes all the way from my bedroom to the other. Okay, it says on the box how long it is. Hold on. I bought this recently, by the way, because y'all know I had to have it replaced. How long is this cord, now that I think about it? Yeah, this cord is 20 meters long. Sorry for the fan noise, by the way. I'm standing too close to the fan. Yeah, this Ethernet cord is 20 meters long, so good luck stealing it, my guy. Do his really loud house video next time, Tracy. Next time. Which is probably next weekend, because once we're done here, I'm going to call it. Because my dinner is here, I don't want it to get cold, I'm hungry, and also this one's only 10 minutes long. I think we can manage. One episode that made me hate Lynn is Space Invader. I thought Space Invader was fine, but yeah. I can see why people, like... The irony is, like, yeah, I can see why people might dislike Lynn there. She's too intrusive, the fart jokes, all that jazz. Like, honestly, Savino said at some interviews, hey, if we're going to make fart jokes, we're going to make them funny and meaningful, but most of the time... He really hasn't. The only time I can think of that where the fart joke actually had purpose was in Roughing It, and it was to convey the idea that it's just disgusting. It's something you shouldn't be doing. But anyways, like I've talked about it in my best episodes video. If y'all check out number 3, and there's the one good fart joke you'll find in the show.
And you can immediately gather, okay, this girl is a rock star and this one is a comedian. It is incredibly easy to tell what each character's deal is and how strong their personalities actually are.
Oh, speaking of Roughing It, they're showing footage from it, and yeah, that's my favorite episodes from season 1.
Once again, Lucy's the goth, Lisa's the scientist, Lana's the tomboy, and Lynn...
Damn.
So please enlighten me, the two Casagrandes fans still living on this earth. What is this character's personality? Like, just from looking at them, what is their...
I mean... Yeah, come to think of it, does Adelaide have personality other than just bratty and sassy? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, Adelaide. When she's interacting with Carl, she definitely... You can tell there's effort to build character, but it's just not enough.
Their personality. How about this one? Or this one?
Nope.
Here's a challenge, dear viewer.
That grandma is just a stereotypical, part-time stereotypical Mexican grandma, and part-time superstitious asshole. Superstitious authoritarian matriarch. Like, seriously, Cursed is the worst episode of the whole series. I still hate it.
Please look at all these characters, and besides Ronnie N, please try telling me what their defining personality traits are.
Yeah, Pixel, he tried to go for that with Lori at first, but I guess it just didn't stick, because they really haven't tried it nowadays.
I'll give you some time. Time's up. To make a show like this work, you need characters that have these big, exaggerated personalities.
Bro, to make any show work, you need characters with personality.
However, character designs complement said personality traits. Because if Loud House didn't do that, then it would be boring as sin. Not that sin is uncommon for this show. It would be a wasted concept. The chaos that ensues from seeing these wildly different characters interact with one another is what made early Loud House episodes so appealing for people of all ages.
Most of them.
I have attended funeral services more stimulating than this show. Hearing a grown man shouting their genes out from behind a wall was more entertaining than watching these characters interact.
Damn, bro.
There's no typical expected Loud House chaos. Hell, I could have done with Lincoln showing up to commit his war crimes. That would have at least made the show somewhat entertaining. I have to skim read this show's wiki just to wrap my head around what their actual personalities are.
There's nothing.
So much unbridled nothing that falling asleep to this show would likely cause a singularity. Heck, even
honestly, can Sam be a character in the Casa Grande? She'd fit right in.
The wiki descriptions of the Loud House characters to the Casa Grande's characters, you can see just how lacking they are. All of these detailed descriptions of the characters' habits and quirks versus my favorite personality traits, like smooth talker.
No, the fuck he isn't. No, the fuck. Why would the wiki describe Carl this way? Who's in charge of the... Okay, you can just tell they're just trying to glaze him because there's nothing there.
Photographer, and of course my favorite, Divorce. If there's one
Hold on, let me read that.
smooth talker, photographer, and of course my favorite, divorce.
The divorced father, the Santiagos, and a physician. That's it. They wasted the Latin American voice of the donkey from Shrek and Mushu in Mulan. And they gave him nothing to work with. No personality, nothing funny to say, just nothing. And they wasted the casting of Eugenio Derbez for whatever that's worth nowadays. What a...
If there's one thing I can give to the cast, one of the characters, Carlos Jr., or CJ, is a young kid with Down syndrome, and he's honestly the sweetest part of the show. Like, they
By default, I guess.
handled this kid pretty well, and I can see such a positive portrayal.
He did get glazed a little too much. Like, y'all remember that episode where Carlota needs to learn to do haircuts, and suddenly out of nowhere, CJ's like a master at giving haircuts, so she cheats with him? I don't know. They definitely do glaze him a little too much for comfort. But other than that, if you put that episode aside, yeah, CJ's fine. Couple corny moments, but other than that, what else can you expect out of him?
Of Down syndrome having a big impact on many kids who also have developmental disabilities. Not saying that having Down syndrome is a personality trait, that's not where I'm going with this. I just think it's really cool that the show has representation like this, as it's incredibly uncommon.
I mean, to be fair though, with those kids with mental disabilities, so much as acknowledge this character, let alone be aware of it, be aware of the show in general, let alone this character? I don't know. I'm not going to look into the semantics of it.
And a lot of kid shows for a main character to have Down syndrome. I just wish he and the episodes that focus on him were in a better show. As for the other Casagrandes,
Or just be better in general. Like I said, they were just too corny, too contrived, but the character alone, under most circumstances, he's fine.
not a single one of them is interesting to watch. The closest any of them get to having something is Carlota, who's incredibly kind and incredibly into fashion.
So Lenny.
So she's Lenny then.
Not really kind. She does have kind of an attitude problem. And she's a little attention starved.
That's Lenny's thing. She's just Lenny, but not a stereotypical dumb blonde. Yeah.
And she's just an asshole, basically.
Ronnie and Bobby are the only mildly enjoyable characters here, and I say enjoyable very loosely. There's also the topic of Ronnie Ann herself, the main star, the main personality the show centers around, a character supposedly so good they had to write her out of the main show and give her the spotlight. If anything,
I mean, like I said, credit where credit is due. Relative Chaos, good episode. Ronnie Ann's character arc, it's just the right amount of subtle. It's got a decent amount of subtext, but as far as the follow-up that is in the form of the Casagrandes, yeah, they definitely fumbled the bag most of the time.
you can justify making this spin-off, it'll be Ronnie Ann's
Like she did not. This did not justify an entire whole spin-off.
her attitude and personality that helped elevate this. She's Lincoln 2.0, just minus the casual sociopathy. In the Loud House, Ronnie Ann, while she did mellow out over time from her days as a bully, had a much rougher tomboyish edge and attitude compared to Lincoln. And if they were gonna give her an entire show where
I don't know. I'd like to believe that as time went on and she grew closer with Lincoln, at least not literally, not in a literal sense, just as a friend. I'd like to believe she just learned a thing or two. She picked up a thing or two from him, and as far as behavior is concerned.
she has the spotlight, it would have made the carbon copy a Loud House show
Or maybe I'm being too optimistic about it, but I talked about this before in my, ironically, my worst episodes video.
more interesting if they showed how she would interact with a large family. Except the executives must have sensed this potential risk being taken, projectile vomited their bottle of soy, grabbed a sniper rifle and aimed it directly at the writers' heads until they conformed to the idea of appeal. So from the Casagrandes onwards, Ronnie
Yeah.
has pretty much all of her individuality removed. Her tomboyish side is basically an aesthetic now, and now she's just Lincoln but girl.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't disagree too much with it. Like at the beginning, like in Relative Chaos in the first season of most of the first season of the Casagrandes, yeah, the tomboyish demeanor, it's more or less still there, relatively speaking. But yeah, in later seasons, it definitely feels like it's gone altogether.
He retains all of Lincoln's actually likable qualities, but no
On very rare occasions, they definitely do bring it back. But yeah, he's right. The tomboy demeanor, it definitely feels more like an aesthetic.
balancing it out.
Like her skate, like the only tomboyish quality she has in later seasons, it's really just her skateboarding and a bit of heroism. That's it.
With the few selfish traits that kept Lincoln somewhat grounded and entertaining. While on the flip side, this means Ronnie Ann won't have an episode where she becomes a Tory. She's just essentially Diet Lincoln, killing the only thing this show actually had going for it. Also because Lincoln has his group of 5 friends in the Loud House, Ronnie Ann
She needed to have her own for whatever. And how'd that work out? I thought Laird was interesting, but the rest of them, if I were as shallow as most people, yeah, I probably wouldn't even remember their names for the life of me.
also needed a group of 5 friends.
Who cares?
None of them actually matter except for Sid, whose main personality traits involve being really nice and also having a parasocial relationship with a K-pop star.
Okay, as much as I don't like the whole K-pop obsession on her, but that's putting it a little too simply. And also, Sid, I feel like, again, putting it a little too simply. She's zany, she's quirky, but never to the point where it's annoying. And yeah, they could have fleshed her out a little more, but I guess still, I stand by it. She's still by default probably the best part of the show. But that's just me.
I wish I was making that last part up. They also have her reference K-pop a lot. Like, a lot. And for some reason, she also has a birthmark of Abraham.
Yeah, what was that all about?
Lincoln. And I'm just gonna let you guess where that birthmark is in her body. It's the foot. It's
Of course. Why? Why? I thought we agreed we disassociate with Dan Schneider. Like, did you think... Like, maybe the writer of this didn't know any better and everyone else just went with it? But did nobody tell him about Dan Schneider's infamy on Nickelodeon? Like, why? It could have been on her hand. It could have been underneath her hair and her forehead. Why did it have to be on her foot? Why? Can we just... Like, do you see how easy it is to jump to the wrong conclusion here for most people? Watching the worst episodes video of Sam's character, Kaiser, thank you for the acknowledgement, but tell me something I don't know.
Puts die hard, as they say, like Dan Schneider's career. The characters being so one-note and bland was the Achilles heel to the show's appeal. Because without any interesting personalities or antics, what's the point? Which leads into the actual episodes themselves. What?
But still though, like I said, maybe... Okay, aside from this whole debacle with the foot, I feel like he's not giving Sid enough credit. But that's just me though.
Pinhead wrote these. They're not very good. Now, I want you to imagine the most mind-numbing, boring thing that you've ever done in your free time. Whether that's reading a single page of Harry Potter, willingly looking at Steam reviews, or watching a single George Not Found video, right? Now, extend
Who? Who?
3 seasons with basically no shake-ups at all. If I'll give anything to the Casa Grandes, it's at least consistent with making them...
Yeah, Kaiser, I more or less pause them because some people, they can't get a clue. Some people are either being too rude or they just don't bother watching the whole video before commenting. So yeah, I pause them for a reason.
Most bland episodes for a Nickelodeon show I've ever had the misery of watching. No wonder kids were actually switching the channel when they were on.
Yeah. Not even 750,000 views on your first season, which is a far cry from the Loud House's first season. It was like what, 10 million views? I don't know off the top of my head, but I know it was in the millions. Ronnie Ann is a Lincoln Loud copy OC in the Casa Grandes, and with many parallels the two have. On one hand, I understand it because of Ronnie Ann's bond with Lincoln. It doesn't surprise me that a bully like her picked up a lot of behavior from him, but they definitely do overdo it. I understand that. Dan, get in my white van tonight. Oh my god. Don't remind me, man.
And tired out just watching this. Loud House comparison time. People try getting away with saying all of the Loud House is hilariously awful, but I still stand by the fact that if the show ended at season 1, you'd see far more people talking about the show in high regard like they do with shows.
I mean, how many successful Nickelodeon shows do you know that only last one season, Tunchi? Let's be real, man.
Shows like Rugrats, Rockers Modern Life, and Hey Arnold. Now, I'm not implying the show is remotely close to that level of
I still think season 2 and 3 still have a lot going for it, but to each their own.
quality even in its first season, but Loud House season 1 was enjoyed by kids and adults alike because it had the energy of a classic Nicktoon. You do not know how much restraint it took to not mention the fanbase's pedophile. Oops, and that can be seen
Yep, there it is. Yep.
in the episodes themselves, which actually took advantage of its premise to tell high-energy stories about navigating for a large family. It gave the show its appeal and charm. While later seasons would simplify the show into being a show only for young children that people see it as now, you can't remove the initial hype it had from history. The Casa Grande is obviously going to suffer from the approach being much different.
Yeah, 4 years later, you just can't replicate that magic when all you're doing is trying to replicate the magic. Plain and simple.
Than it used to be, but it almost never takes advantage of its premise like the Loud House does. Whereas Loud House's first season took basic concepts like having a sleepover, taking a family photo, and doing basic chores and took them to the absolute largest extreme they possibly could. The Casa Grandes either has the most bland and boring execution of an episode based on
Also, fuck that alpaca, by the way. I don't even remember his name, but I just remember he was an asshole in the worst of ways.
an alpaca,
And again, another antagonist going unpunished.
or the episode just isn't focused on the concept of the show in the first place, and is therefore directionless with no appeal, doing a checklist of plot points. Also, the most confusing episodes have to be when the show crosses back over with the Loud House. Now,
Yeah.
having Lincoln show up from time to time is understandable given how close he is to Ronnie Ann, but sometimes it goes as far as going back into the Loud House itself.
Yeah. in probably the worst episode in that whole series, ironically. Like, you would think the one episode where they go back to the show that's actually good, more or less, it wouldn't suck, but no. Curse is the worst episode of the Casagrandes.
Siblings present. The Casagrandes also show up in future episodes of The Loud House.
Like, they're just really riding off of the main show's coattail, and I'm sick of it, man. Like, it just tells me that you had no faith in your ideas. Your inspiration is just not there. Like, again, the only reason the show exists is because Mexican representation matters. Like, Nickelodeon hasn't already done that before. El Tigre, Dora the Explorer, but anyways, I don't want to get into that again.
Running out of moves. Not that I've seen them myself because I'm not watching the show again. And how does this happen in both shows? When both shows are this identical.
Bro, Tunchi, my guy, do you need a hug? Tunchi is fighting his demons, not to mention the fandom. Yeah.
Really emphasizes just how pointless the Casagrande's existence actually is outside of making money. And yeah, good luck with that. I'm really trying to find more word.
I mean, I don't even think money was their concern. Otherwise, I don't think it would have lasted 3 seasons, man. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Describe this show other than bland and boring, but unless my thesaurus is missing a page, I don't think there's any other word I can use. Well, I can always make up my own. The most interesting moment.
Wait.
I don't think there's any other word I can use. Well, I can always
Uber shittle. I'm gonna use that.
make up my own. The most interesting moment of the show is when they have a guest appearance from George Lopez, and it's only because I can't unhear
Ironically, one of my least favorite episodes.
Mr. Electric every time he speaks. The comedy is about on par with The Loud House post season 3, which is to say, if you're the kind of person who scrolls through Facebook looking at boomer comics, you're probably going to get the most value out of this show. Which is to say, the show is painfully unfunny garbage. It's
Yeah. Come to think of it, has this show ever made me laugh once? I don't think so, to be honest. A couple moments where I go like, okay, in character or whatever, but has it ever made me laugh once? I don't think it has, guys.
actually very impressive for a show to be this incapable of making me laugh. And it's not because I'm an adult, mostly. Like, kids were straight up
Skill issue.
turning this show off or watching something else on a streaming service because cable TV is dead. When it's not bare bones slapstick or the
And this was in 2023, guys. Cable TV is still essentially dead. I still have a cable plan, and I can still, and I don't mind having it, but yeah, cable TV is essentially dead.
same desperate gross out humor that Loud House began to rely on as a crutch. It just became some of the most milquetoast back and forth dialogue consistent.
Oh my god, Mexican Makeover, another awful episode. Just hinging on traditions, but more so stereotypes. Just Mexican. Like, ya basta, güey, no manches. Ya basta con esta madre despojada, no manches.
Constantly falls flat, and using some of the very bare personality traits some of the characters have for a quick
Ew!
doesn't work half.
Why was that visual even considered? Who drafted that? Fire them, please. Make sure they never work in animation again. Good God.
Anything in the show, I would tell you. I laughed at this morning.
I mean, to be fair, that is pretty funny. That whole meme of Mr. McMahon getting his ass beat. It's still in an ironic context, it's still really funny.
But there is not a single entertaining bone in this show's body. It is determined to put you to sleep with every
I don't know, Nitro. The smile, visually, it was a little too uncomfortable for it to get a laugh out of me.
episode. And if we're getting more technical when it comes to the show being a miserable failure, Nickelodeon got insanely lucky with The Loud House Season 1. It got very popular very quickly, largely because of that multi-generational appeal it had. It had the fast
John, that really was my Yahweh.
comedy and heart warmth for kids, while pleasantly reminding adults of the cartoons they used to watch on Nickelodeon back in the day. Up until The Loud House, there was really nothing going for Nickelodeon other than modern SpongeBob. So
Wait, say that again?
in the day, up until The Loud House, there was really nothing going for Nickelodeon other than
Okay, why is half of his B-roll footage just this girl doing the Chikai dance or whatever it's called? You know what? I'm not gonna question. I shouldn't be questioning it.
modern
SpongeBob is actually pretty good these days, but no one wants to have that conversation. Is it? Was it in 2023? I honestly don't know. Maybe I should watch more modern SpongeBob, but I don't know. We'll see.
SpongeBob, so the moment something actually different hit it big on its premiere, they would go all in on it. And Nickelodeon is incredibly greedy, as you're all probably aware by now. And instead of taking the hit
Okay, Harvey Beaks, Glitch Text. I keep hearing about this handful of Nickelodeon shows that got cut short, but are still really good. I gotta look into it. I know Glitch Text is on Netflix, but where can I watch Harvey Beaks?
that maybe advertising new shows and giving them a chance to actually compete was a good idea, they zoned in hard on making Loud House its next big thing and did exactly what they did with SpongeBob to it. The Casa Grande just because they wanted a bit of extra cash, and even if it wasn't supposed to be as big as Loud House, I don't think they foresaw just how much of a failure it ended up being. And lacking the quality that Loud House had didn't help with keeping people's interest, and the ratings gradually declined to the point where they couldn't even pull in 200,000 viewers for their final season.
Yikes.
That is also the death of cable and the rise of streaming, which also adds to the show's failures because it simply didn't stand a chance.
That is true. But I don't know. At the time, how was Loud House Season 4 doing compared to this? I don't know.
Loud House is still dominating Nickelodeon in both TV ratings and on streaming, not to mention SpongeBob still being as popular of kids as ever, so the Casa Grandes was basically doomed to fall into obscurity.
I don't know. How did it go? How did it play out for the Patrick Star Show and Camp Coral? I know Camp Coral ended, good freaking riddance, but what about the Patrick Star Show? Is it still going? I honestly don't know.
Ultimately leading to Nickelodeon's decision to cancel it in 2022, and the world lets out a resounding meh, followed by me dying of laughter. I do enjoy preying on this franchise's downfall because it's an easy target, but it is still kind of depressing how Nickelodeon was given every opportunity to shake things up and repeat.
Like, yeah. Y'all have seen me talk about some of the storylines from the early seasons. Like, Lincoln and Stella, Lincoln's growth through his sisters. Like, it really could have amounted to something to the point where, dare I say it, a plotline of Lincoln and Stella getting together, it might have made for a good series finale, but no. They just dragged the show on for season after season after season. Then a spin-off that failed and got canceled, but they're still... Creatively, this show... Not the Casa Grandes, the Loud House as a whole. It could have been handled a lot better. Even with Savino's termination, the ideas were still there. We could have worked with it. Well, not we, just they could have worked with it. Patrick Star is still going? Oh my gosh. Ugh. I mean... Don't remember anything about it. I do know. I haven't seen enough about it to make a fair judgment, but the credits are uncomfortable. What I have seen is really boring. Like, I don't know what to make of it, but I've heard it's really bad.
Stuck to the same tune for decades now, and is only being kept alive by its live-action shows. Why is Henry Danger still alive?
Why is Henry Danger getting a spin-off? I don't freaking know. Why is anything Dan Schneider is still ongoing? Genuine question.
And the two cartoons it holds above everything else, it doesn't stand a damn chance. There's not much else for me to say, really. I struggle to say anything more for the last 2.5 pages for the script. The Casa Grandes is just that boring and forgettable, and its failure is blindingly obvious. I don't know if I'll be talking about the Loud House very much going forward. I guess we'll just wait and see how that Halloween movie plays out. Yeah.
No, it didn't. It didn't. It didn't.
Who am I kidding? I'm definitely talking about that.
Did he? Hold on. Did he talk about the Halloween movie? Let's see what he has to say. Just for a little bit, because after in a few minutes, guys, I'm gonna be ending stream. No, apparently he didn't talk about it. I guess it was just that bad. I really don't blame him. Holy shit. When the movie is when a Halloween special is so bad, Toonchi just stops making Loud House videos altogether. What does that tell you? SpongeBob during that time just kind of existed. I believe it was after Steven died, and well, it's not the worst. It's not that great. Also, the girl is Chika Fujiwara. The Chika dance. I am familiar with the meme more or less. I kind of miss cable television, even though it's more convenient than with streaming now. Getting up early to tune into a show you want, the commercial show bumpers is also nostalgic. Yeah, it's just really hard to recapture that magic nowadays, unfortunately. The Henry Danger cartoon show's animation. Yeah, apparently it had like 1 season of animation, and I heard it got canceled. Good riddance. To be fair, I do have a nostalgia for older Dan shows. Yeah, iCarly, Victorious, Drake and Josh, Zoe 101, whatever. Sure. Okay, yeah. Maybe I can disassociate enough with Dan to appreciate those shows for what they were, when they're not making foot jokes or whatever, at the very least. But nowadays, Henry Danger or whatever, nah, get it out of my face. I don't want to see it. You're back, Night Fury? Oh, timing is a little unfortunate. I'm just about to leave, man. But to be fair, we voted. Chat voted. We watched the Toonchi video. So, companionship and hopefully season 7's tier list is scheduled for Saturday, guys. Hopefully you guys look forward to it. Okay, let me finish reading chat before I give the send off and give a sign off and whatnot. Since Lana and Sam had their own episodes, but they could have made her interact with new characters instead of with Luna, I guess. Yeah. Like, Sam has little to no obligation or reason to be Luna's girlfriend. Plain and simple. But you know what? I've said enough about that. But alright, guys. that's going to be it for the stream. We've been at it for about 3.5 hours. Okay, I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm kind of tempted to watch another Tunchi video, but they're a little too long, and it's getting kind of late. Yeah, we've been at it for about almost 4 hours. Yeah, sorry, guys. As much as I love to keep going, I got to call it because I have work in the morning. I got to shower. I got to have dinner, all that jazz. So I'll see you guys next Saturday. We'll do the tier list for Season 7 and read another chapter of Companionship. And maybe on Sunday, we'll watch another Tunchi video. Tracy, Tunchi's video on the Really Loud House, we'll probably watch it on Sunday. So with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for sticking around. As always, if your heart so desires, like and subscribe to the stream. Please and thank you. Also, really like the stream. That's what helps the most if you're not already subscribed. Once again, I'm Seabass signing out. Take care, guys. Bye.